Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you for tuning in to Late Night Leos with Luxurious Leopards. This is your host, Morgan from THOR GECKO. Tonight's show is brought to you by our generous sponsors, Luxurious Leopards, Holly's Homebred Reptiles, Lilith's Leo Lovables, SC Geckos, Desert Snow Gecko, Supreme Gecko, Residual Arts, and Ghoulish Geckos. So tonight I have two guest co-hosts. I have Jeff Scott. Jeff, you want to say hello to the crowd?
Hello, crowd.
And I have Jeremy Hughes from Jagged Edge Reptiles. Jeremy, you want to say hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. So tonight we have Pat KLINE from Luxurious Leopards. Pat, why don't you say hello to everybody?
How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing great. So we've had Pat on in the past, but that was like for the whole Kill Crypto thing, and I want to touch on some of that later tonight, but I really want to hit on Luxurious Leopards and what kind of species you keep and your setups and all of that. So maybe you could give us a list of all the different species you work with to start off.
Sure. I mean, obviously leopards are the main part of our business, but we do dart frogs. Dart frog, we have a bunch of different species there. We do chameleons. We have 4 different species of chameleons. Also day geckos, a couple different cave gecko species, some banded geckos, and tinkering in this and that. So we've done snakes before. We don't do ball pythons anymore. Kind of wandered out of snakes since then and come back to lizards.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I didn't get along with snakes either. So I want to talk about dart frogs a little bit. So how do you set them up, and what do you feed them, and all of that kind of stuff?
Well, the dart frog world, it's really interesting, and in that case, that you generally start off with froglets if you're not going to want to go out and spend the larger money on proven pairs or sex pairs, and some of the species are pretty tough to find sex pairs on. I always suggest to people, if they're getting into them, to do the Tinctoris, the Tinks, which are like your Azorius, your Cobalts, Patricias, Powder Grays. They're a larger frog. They're very bold. They're generally pretty hardy. And as a whole, if you're staying away from the thumbnails and obligate egg feeders, dart frogs really aren't that hard. As long as you do a couple things the correct way from the start, you'll have a lot of success with them. And they're actually pretty prolific breeders. Generally, once you get your froglets and you start out by doing the odds, 2, you have a 50% chance of getting pairs, and up from there, it's generally industry standards to start with 6 to 8 froglets, and you'll probably get a pair. Then that's because certain species are female heavy or male heavy, and you just got to do your research before that when you're picking what species you want to work out with. A lot of these guys end up being mature at 1 to 2 years of age, so it's going to take a while when you're getting froglets that are 3 to 4 months old. They're mainly going to eat, when they're small, a fruit fly called melanogaster, which are flightless, and there's also Hydeae, which are larger flightless fruit flies, which you're going to feed to the larger frogs when they're getting bigger. And there's all kinds of little things you could do past that, as far as Turkish gliders is another feeder. I strongly suggest when you're setting up the tank to put isopods or springtails into the substrate. Those are kind of your cleaning crew, and the frogs are also going to eat them, and they get a lot of good sources of nutrition, like calcium from those invertebrates also. So again, setting up the tank at the beginning and doing things the correct way is the best way to do it. They do require a higher humidity, and I always tell people there's really a couple ways to kill these frogs. And number 1 is you don't feed them, and number 2 is too high heat. They're generally not going to handle anything over 78. 78, 82 is a danger zone. So you want to keep them at 70 degrees to about 78 degrees at max. They do, like I said, require that moisture, so the humidity's got to be relatively high. We do have ours on automatic misting systems, so we have them misting at about 1 to 2 times a day for various seconds, depending on the species. But You could also use a handheld mister. You don't need to go crazy and buy a Mist King and spend a lot of money if you just want to do 1 or 2 tanks. Certainly can hand mist them. They're a lot of fun. You can watch them. They're obviously not a handleable pet, but you can spend many hours setting up these tanks and really customizing to what you want and picking what species you want to work with.
So the temperature range is below 78. So for me, I keep my whole leopard gecko room at 75. So I wouldn't need any kind of heat for something like that, right?
Correct, and that's kind of why we picked that to go into our gecko room, is we are keeping it heated and cooled right at that 75-degree range is where I like to keep mine too. So it's perfect for the frogs and works out great for all the the non-really picky species. Now there are some species that are going to play outside of those ranges, but for your general Aratus and Tinctorus, and even a lot of the thumbnails, which I would not suggest starting out with getting into, but they could be a lot of fun too. It's kind of the next step. But yeah, 75-degree room temp is perfect.
Right on. And I've seen all kinds of crazy cage setups for those, and something that I really love is the Rubbermaid tubs with the front latch that has that clear plastic. You could use it for crested geckos and stuff. Is that something that would be good for a dart frog?
It's a really good question, because I do actually get that question through the site, and I do use them myself for crested geckos and gargoyle geckos, and the answer would be no. They just don't hold humidity well enough for that. We use, I'm sure you've seen on some of our videos, they're actually customized 10 and 20-gallon aquariums, where the front is a solid piece of acrylic with a vent on the top, and then the front actually folds down. Conversion kits are sold, I believe the company is called Jungle Box, to where you can actually put this door on the front and customize it. And that's, if you're setting these guys up, that's really the way to do it. If you're going to keep more than one species, is accessing it from the front. That's a lot easier to deal with, especially, we use rack systems in the frog world, but it's different than what we think of in the leopard gecko world. And basically a rack system, the frog people, is a baker's rack, a metal baker's rack with, I use 4-foot fluorescent bulbs mounted underneath them, which go right on top of the tank. So everything opens up front. So it's a lot more convenient and does aid in a lot of the plant growth from the light being up top and not having to go in and out of it. Plus, imagine if you're opening that top almost every day to go in and feed these frogs, all that humidity is going. So it does aid in keeping the humidity at the proper percentage if you're opening it from the front to work with the frogs.
Wow.
Where
are
cool.
frogs from? Are they like rainforest, Amazon rainforest or something?
Yeah, I mean, they have mostly rainforest. The Colombian and Panamanian are the two biggest areas, but that is they're generally like the tropical type setting. And another thing I should have mentioned with the setup is you don't have to do real plants, but I strongly suggest it. And everybody you can get crazy with them, or you can get really basic. Pothos is a really, really quick growing vine with larger leaves, and it's very, very easy to grow, all the way up to very sophisticated orchids. So there's a lot of range that goes on with customizing these tanks, and it could cost, as little as $50 to put a tank together, or as much as I just did a tank for a lady actually for her living room, and it was an $8,000 tank. So that's with all the bells and the whistles, and it could get really crazy.
Automatic misters and it's sustainable when you put the isopods and springtails and stuff like that in there.
Exactly. You do have to seed them, about once every 8 months to a year, just because the frogs are going to eat them. I mean, they're going to reproduce it within the tank, and that's fine. That's what you want. But the reality of it is you really need them, because of that, your tank is going to get more of this pond smell to it after a while from all the water. And it really doesn't matter what you're using, from ABG mix all the way down to regular Eco Earth, and I've used all of it. And it makes a difference. It really does. To spend $5 to $8 for a culture to put in there is a huge difference in the time and maintenance you're going to spend on them.
No, that makes sense. it's just like aquaculture, like setting up an aquarium. You need that biomass to keep everything, all the critters eating everything.
Right, and it's actually, all you need is one culture. You could have a 32-quart container with eco-earth for springtails, and as long as you keep them moist and you feed them just regular, everything from brewer's yeast to white rice that isn't cooked, they will thrive in there, and you can seed hundreds of tanks if you really wanted to. We actually have a video on the YouTube channel that shows how we culture our isopods and how we grow them.
Yeah, no, that'd be the
Where would you find those, Pat?
I'm sorry?
Where would you find those? Who would you go to find springtails and a cleanup crew like that?
I know a lot of the larger companies, we carry them, but we generally don't ship them just because shipping them gets a little hairy for different parts of the country. But companies like Black Jungle, Josh's Frogs, out west you'll have Dart Frog Connection. All those people, we generally carry. The invertebrates are kind of addicting. Once you start building the tank, you'll start keeping different kinds of isopods, and you kind of collect them, as weird as this sounds, but they're all different colors, and you're customizing, so it's really neat to collect them. So even though you'll have, like, regular gray isopods, you might go to a show and see Dart Frog Connection has, like, 8 different kinds. So they're just so easy to keep and cultivate in your own. A lot of people will keep them, and they're just same room temperature, and you could grow them right on eco-earth.
That's really cool. That'd be like my main draw to the whole dart frog thing. It's not just the frogs, but the whole culture and everything goes into it, and the live plants and all. I'm a plant guy anyway, but just setting up the whole vivarium, that sounds really cool.
It is really cool, and we have a myriad of people, from people who really want to learn about A through B and don't want us to build tanks for them. They just want access to the supplies, and then we have people who want, okay, I just want it done. I want to look at it, and you get the whole range of it. But I agree with you. I think the fun of it is putting it together.
Yeah, no, I'd have to have the orchids and the pothos, and like a lot of those plants come from the rainforest anyway. I'd get all into it and find out what plants were indigenous, and a lot of our house plants are from there anyway. I mean,
correct. So, yeah, a lot of them are.
That'd be really cool to set something up like that.
How cool?
How cool can they live? I mean, what's the tolerance as far as cold?
The lower range, I probably wouldn't go much lower than 68, 67, only because then you're going to start suffering the humidity levels.
Yeah, that would pop up the humidity, huh? Yeah, no, that's interesting stuff.
And I think it's probably, to a lot of our listeners, this is going to be a bit redundant, but this is the most popular question I get every single show, and that's, are they poisonous? And no, they are not in the captivity. They eat a certain type of insect in the wild, which then produces that in their glands. So they're absolutely, totally safe within a household or a collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something that I don't have the dart frogs yet, but something I've heard is once you do start growing those plants and stuff, the plants multiply, and you actually have to thin out your tanks, and you have to take isopods out when they get, overpopulated. And people have said that you can actually just start selling those at shows to other people. Is that something that you guys do?
You can. It's actually very common in the frog world to trade clippings, or I don't really sell clippings, but if somebody's interested, when I go through and do my pruning, I will, put like a care package together for them. But as far as the isopods and the bugs go, I don't take anything out of the tanks once it's in there as far as that goes. And that has to do more with, biohazard and controlling what's if I was me and I was buying an isopod, I'd want a fresh culture. So I don't sell cultures that are made from the tanks. If it's in there, that's it. And that's, I don't know, I guess that's just my way of thinking about it. I can't control what the next person brings into their collection. So if I'm putting bugs from their tanks in my tanks, that can negate it. Because keep this in mind. If you get a 6 set of frogs and you just spent $200-300 putting your tank together, you just got to rip it all apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Cool. You got your own little ecosystem set up in there. That's really cool. It's like a little miniature biosphere.
It is, and quarantine is huge too with these frogs, and it's really simple. Majority of breeders keep their froglets or animals that are quarantined in just Rubbermaid containers of the appropriate size with about an inch to 2 inch layer of sphagnum moss, and that's it.
And that's before you
coconut hide.
That's before you put them into like a community, your big community tank. That's like a quarantine thing
right.
you're talking about. Yeah.
They'll just do that. And you can test them. The biggest deal is chytrid and ranavirus, which are very, very, very dangerous diseases to deal with. And with the more imports you see, that's where you're going to run into it. So, for me, I don't have wild-caught anything in my collection. No matter what it is, it's just not there. So, but if you're purchasing from somebody, it's always a good question to ask. And it's not that it's a deal breaker, because sometimes if you want the rare and they're very hard to get, it's just something you have to deal with. But you have to be prepared in the quarantine side as well. Keep that in mind and do your research on whomever you're purchasing from.
Yeah. Is there medications for, I know there's like, panic cure or whatever for Leos, but for the frogs, is there specific medications is there type specific medications for whatever you get?
There is for some of them, but amphibians are very, very touchy.
Yeah.
A lot of what you have to give them is topically, and it's very easy to overdose them or do the incorrect dilutions. So I really, really strongly never suggest giving a drug to an amphibian of any kind. Really, a certified vet should be making those dilutions for you, because it really takes 1% off of certain drugs to kill that frog within minutes.
Yeah, no, that's what I was asking. I know they're real sensitive to pesticides and stuff like that. So I'm sure they're real.
Yeah, they are,
because of their skin, and well, they're pretty much water.
Exactly. I think it's a good point to point out that tonight we're going to be giving away a $50 gift card to Luxurious Leopards, and we're going to do a spin on this evening where you have to call in, and we're going to give you a question. It's not going to be anything rocket science, so don't worry. We basically want you guys to interact. So at the end of the show, if you get your question right, you're going to get your name into a hat, and then we're going to pick out from the individuals who got it right, and they're going to win the card. So we're going to open the lines, I guess, a little bit later when Morgan gives the cue, so that if everybody was asking questions how to win the card, that's how we're going to do it this evening.
Yeah, cool. Definitely. And I really like that you, with the whole dart frog thing, that you went into, $50 up to a $8,000 setup. So, because that's something that I get all the time is people, I always see those threads about, I want dart frogs, but I don't, I'm not a millionaire. So why don't you tell everyone how much are those, the cheaper frogs? Because I think they'd be pretty surprised. Yeah,
if you're looking to get like blue and black Aratus or green and black Aratus, or Azorius, or Leucomelis, which is the bumblebee, is very popular. All those frogs are going to run you in the $30 to $45 range, and a lot of times breeders, if you're buying more than one, say you want to get a group, the price obviously comes down. They'll do like breeder bundles or packages. I would say if you're starting a 20-gallon aquarium with the frogs, be prepared to spend in the $300 to $400 range for a nice planted, done correctly with isopods and the works. Yeah.
So you're going to spend more on the setup than you are the actual animals.
The frog. Oh yeah.
Depending on what you get, I mean. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but that's how it is with everything, I mean.
Oh yeah.
A $300 thermostat and an $800 animal plastic rack and and then you've got a couple $100 and $200 geckos. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get into that as soon as the weather cools down. We have crazy weather in Northern California. It's like 50 degrees one day and 80 degrees the other.
Yours is a little more mellow over there. Here it gets, it gets freezing cold, and then another month it'll be 100 degrees.
Yeah. So, are there any other species that you have in like fully planted tanks? Do any of the day geckos, or I know the chameleons probably might.
We do keep our day geckos in exact same setups as our dart frogs. Most of them are in exoteras with pothos or bromeliads, but it is a planted tank also on a misting system. You don't have to get that crazy with those guys, but I was just fortunate enough to have the tank set up and everything was at my disposal as far as supplies. But and the chameleons, we keep them in all aluminum screen cages, and we do have pothos in there for them at the moment, and that's, other than the vines that they love to climb on, that's about it for live plants for those guys.
That's and never mix a frog with a gecko or a chameleon. Never keep those together.
Well, it
or
depends.
Can you?
You know what?
That's
a very popular. You can, and it depends on the gecko. I mean, the giant. My favorite day gecko species to work with is the giants, and they're compatible with absolutely nothing. Even some of the giants are not compatible with. You got to be really careful when pairing them, and when they're bonded, you basically let them alone. But I work with smaller species like Clemeri and Lineatus, the line day geckos, and the line day geckos, they would be no problems. They generally keep themselves, and it also depends too. When you design the tank, it needs to be more arboreal, and when you're choosing a species of frog, you don't want to choose an arboreal frog and then have arboreal geckos. So you just got to plan it out correctly when you're doing it and give proper niches for these animals to live.
Well, that's cool. No, I like the whole community tank thing, but of course it doesn't always work. Doesn't work out. You don't want to keep a king snake with a leopard gecko, or
no.
I like both of them. No, but that's real interesting that you can do that. What about some of the salamanders? Are you working with any of the newts or salamanders or anything like that?
I do not. Past going out and herping and seeing them, the zoo I work at, we do work with some really cool salamanders, from hellbenders down to tiger salamanders, but not at my personal collection yet.
Yeah, no, because I've always liked the salamanders and newts, stuff like that. Anything lizard-like.
Slippery stuff.
Yeah. They're cool. I don't know. I think the lizards, frogs, salamanders. They have more personality than snakes, or I should say, different. Anyways, they got arms. They can climb around.
Yeah, definitely. So, what kind of banded geckos do you work with over there?
Currently, I just have Western banded. I have one pair that I just love to keep around, and we don't see them a lot over here in the East Coast, so we don't have a lot of opportunities to pick them up.
Yeah, that's cool. Can you just keep those like the leopard geckos?
They're a little bit different. I have mine in more of a naturalistic setting because they're not too much breeders, but more along the lines of a pet. And so they do breed, but they're not. They breed when they want.
Yeah.
They're not as prolific as some of the others.
No.
And you're working with fascio right now, right? I see you post a lot of fascio.
We do carry a lot of the subspecies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got fascio.
Yeah,
Very
no,
nice.
I see a lot of his stuff he posts. It's like, I'm not even going to go look because I know I'm going to find him.
The fascios are probably one of our most popular subspecies.
I love them. I mean, they're so different. I mean, they're leopard gecko, but I mean, they're just, I don't know, they act different. They're hardier. They're just different. Have you noticed that?
Well, the subspecies I really think are they're going to take a big part of the market in the future because every single one's different. Everyone, has a different pattern, has a little bit different personality to it. They bring something different to the genetic table. I mean, yes, they're pure and they don't have any hetch, which is really, really cool when you're trying to figure out some of the other mutts that we work with. But by themselves, they really are just neat to work with and just really cool animals to have in collections. And every year I see the draw to the subspecies getting higher and higher and higher.
Oh, yeah. No, I've noticed that. Just, in the time that I've been in it, I've always liked the Affies. And then, all these other subspecies popping up. I see the draw. You don't have to worry about, is it het for anything or I hope you don't have to worry about that.
Well, that's an interesting point because, I mean, really, I always tell people if you're wanting to get into the subs, you got to make sure you realize what normal is too, because there are some stuff out there that I don't know if I would say is pure. I don't know if I'd buy it and say, yeah, that's a pure fascio. But if you know what they normally look like, there's a lot of cues on some of them that really are going to make it easy for you. And, of course, buying from somebody who is a reputable breeder that you could trust for the genetics is the next big thing. And a lot of them aren't out of at a gigantic price range. I mean, the majority of them you could purchase for under $175.
Yeah, right around,
Right around there. I mean, Agramanu and, the Hardwicke and obviously Fuscus aren't going to be anywhere near that, but...
Yeah. But, no, they're definitely affordable.
Yeah. And, Pat, this is my first year working with the fascios, and I got a breeder from Steve. Have you noticed any difference in the shape of a fascio egg from a normal leopard gecko?
I think you got a box from me a little bit ago with a fascio, and it didn't you?
Yeah, but she can't breed until later.
I know. I was just teasing. Notice an egg size? No, but I tell you what I do notice is that fascios, until they hit like 25 grams, have a blizzard attitude. They're a little bit more snippy than the rest, but then they calm down pretty easy afterwards. But egg size, not really. I mean, the eggs seem to be the same size as the others. The only subspecies I notice an egg size difference would probably be Afghans, a little smaller, not much, but an Agramanu are just like, they look like robin eggs. They're huge.
I forget who posted. I think
about it.
John posted some a while ago. It's like, damn ping pong balls.
And when they're ready to hatch, they get huge, bigger than big. You don't think it could get any larger, and all of a sudden the baby comes out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I got to get some of them. I'm glad a lot more people are working with them. Maybe the price will get down in a couple of years.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, because I think we're finding that the old adage to them was you had to wait more for the 2-year mark for the females and 2.5-year mark. And I know I was talking to John the other day, and that might be a little bit longer than we thought necessary to have a successful breeding. I mean, mine are a 1.5 years this season, and they're breeding phenomenally, much better than I thought we would get out of them, and they're doing great. And pumping out great-looking babies.
How many clutches are they popping out a year, or you got far into it where you can say that?
Oh, I think we're going to keep some things a secret.
Okay.
I can tell you they're beating the odds, and the odds are somewhere for your first year Agramanu. If you could get 2 to 3 clutches, you did a good job because I mean they take so much out of them. I mean these eggs are massive, so I can understand why the animal isn't going to produce like a regular leopard gecko. So. And not only that, the eggs could trick you also. I had one egg go full term, and it was huge and plump and looked great, and there was nothing in it. It was never fertile.
I hate
yeah,
that.
especially on an egg like that. I was really excited, but it happened.
It always happens with the one that you've been waiting on. That you know what I mean. You'll hatch out a normal or whatever, nothing flat, but that one egg that you're testing something out, it's like, oh man, you open it up and there's yellow gunk in there.
That's why I like the middle of the season when there's all kinds of eggs in there and you kind of forget and that clutch you're looking for is lost. You're like, so one day when you go in there, you just find it.
Yeah. I know it. Today I proved out I have a white and yellow white and yellow het blizzard that came out of a white and yellow to blizzard pairing I did last year, and then I bred him to a blazing blizzard, and today I went in there and found a blizzard, and it's like right on.
Sweet.
So he's had blizzard, and still working on the trimper thing. It's not a blazing blizzard, that's for sure. So I'm pretty sure he's not het trimper. But
so
you know.
Are we expecting any Anger Menu for sale anytime soon?
Oh, I don't think you'll see me sell to the public this year, mainly because I have so many people who are wanting them through emails and waiting lists that I don't see me, unless for some reason everybody in the waiting list says they don't want them, I just don't see me putting them on the market per se to the public. That's not to say that you can't email me but they are, I always get a lot of people who say, oh, I want them, and then they see the price tag and say, oh, wait, no, I'll wait a couple of years.
Yeah, no, I want a lot of stuff.
We do have people back out all the time.
That's me, 100%. And what is that price tag currently?
Currently, males are right around 1,000, and females the 1,300 to 1,500 mark.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, they're coming down.
Yeah, it's
a couple more years.
They're sneaking down a little bit.
That's to start selling. Sell a bunch of leopard geckos. Yeah, you want to buy a kidney? It's kind of used. I got two of them.
Yeah,
right?
Pat, is that price for adults or is that for juveniles?
That's for sexed juveniles.
Yeah. Well, are you getting more males? I mean, are they temp sexed also? About the same as your regular leopard gecko?
We're working on that yet. It was thought that they didn't follow it quite the same and required a lower temperature to get males. And to be honest with you, I'm keeping in close contact with a lot of other people breeding them like John, and we're still trying to figure that out a little bit better. So I don't want to say, they follow the pattern of regular macularis or they don't. At the moment, they are. Yeah. But I'm early in the hatching season for those guys.
Yeah, no, because I know Affies people were having problems with getting male Affies a while ago too. I don't know. I talked to a few people, and they said they didn't really follow the same temperatures.
Same thing with Turkmenicus.
Yeah.
I mean, if you actually look at the individuals selling them, the majority of Turks that are for sale are female, and there's a reason for that. But it is somewhat difficult to hatch male Turks at sometimes.
Huh. And you incubate them at the same, you're not going any higher than 90 or whatever to incubate them.
Right, we do 89 for our males, and then we do 82, 83 for the females. This is the first year I'll personally be hatching pure Turks.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably have about 10 or 12 at the moment on the ground, so it's still a little early to see if it's playing the trend or not. But again, that's another subspecies that there's only a handful of individuals that have pures at the moment.
Yeah, no, they're neat looking too, and they're from different locales too, right? You have different locales of Turks. They're
funny. I have two different. I don't know if you want to call them locales or lines.
Yeah.
And, one was the original line here in the States, and they're much larger. than the ones that I just had brought in about a year and a half ago. So there is differences, and the other problem is the majority of the subspecies we're getting here we get from overseas in ham in Germany and areas like that they have F1s and F2s, and there hasn't had a biologist who's been able to really seriously go in to these areas like Pakistan where these animals are and really do a study again. So we're using our best guess and judgment from knowledge and information that's a little old, and I think we're doing a really good job with it, and we got to figure it out. But I think that's kind of the mysterious interest side to these subspecies.
Yeah, if you went out in Pakistan and looked, how much different would they look? I know the wild.
Agramanu in the wild look nothing like what we have in captivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're totally different look to them, and we get pictures from people trying to sell us some, and I'm sure other breeders do too, and they look totally different. And they have a bucket of these things, and there's like all different mixes of stuff in there, and sometimes it's even difficult to identify what they have because they do look different in the wild. Yeah,
I know the diet's different, and climate, environment, everything probably has something to do. They're not eating mealworms out there.
No. They don't have a bowl with vianating mealworms in it out there.
No, they're getting licking minerals off rocks and butterflies and whatever the heck they can forage.
Yeah, some of them out in the wild have been. I've been getting some of those pictures, and those outrageous $100,000 US they want for a large box of geckos, but still, I mean, it's not worth that much to me, at least.
And they all look sucked up and dehydrated and emaciated.
Yeah. Or they've got like a string wrapped around their neck, like a noose, so they don't run away. Horrible.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. Where they sew stuff to their eyes to make them look like geckos. What was that? It's like a monitor or something.
Oh, yeah, a monitor.
Yeah.
That's why we did not support that. You just got to not purchase from people like that because they wouldn't do it if there wasn't money in it.
Well, yeah.
So obviously somebody's got to be buying it.
Well, people, look how long they can live on that money,
Yeah, a long time. And that's another thing is...
They're desperate.
Yeah. Pat, you've been in the whole online and talking to people a whole lot longer than me. Have you ever heard of rumors of people buying from the wild?
I get some. Actually, it's not so much online, but I get at some shows sometimes, and it's generally from troops or people who have served. Said, "Oh yeah, I remember these. I've seen them there, and I stuck one back." And you hear stories like that, but as far as people really purchasing from the wild,
there's some around.
Yeah.
They're around, yeah, and and I'm sure there's avenues to which I'm, not aware of. I don't really want to be aware of. I like living in the world I'm in now.
Yeah, no.
That you can get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know because Pakistan actually has like an animal awareness day, kind of like we have Tree Arbor Day, and I guess leopard geckos is a big deal poaching those. Hundreds of thousands are being, they seize these boxes, and so somebody's buying these wild-caught animals. I don't know. You'd think you would hear more about it.
Yeah, people aren't going to go around and say, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
I just did this illegal thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty sure they'd come in and take everything. They wouldn't just discriminate the wild ones.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, do you work with any Montanists or anything like that?
I do. I do have Montanus. I have a group of pure Montanus.
Nice. Do you have any males available in my price range?
No. I actually got my Montanus from John, and I had to wait and make sure, and it took a little bit because they're another one that's, there's a couple different looks to Montanus, and I wanted a certain look, and John had them, and you just got to wait for the good stuff sometimes. Sometimes it's not about having the cash, it's about having the patience. So, and Montanas are, they're decently expensive. I think they were like $300 to $400 range. So, but again, they're not everywhere. That's one of the more rare ones to see pure Montanas.
You don't see a lot of those around till maybe the past year and a half. You didn't see any of those around. I didn't.
Yeah,
I just wanted to.
I might have Montanas white and yellows hiding. I don't know. It might be there.
Wow.
That would be interesting looking.
Yeah. When you breed white and yellow, have you done a lot of white and yellow to subs?
I haven't done a ton, but I have done a few. I like to keep a lot of them pure, but if I don't have the pure male or female, I'm still collecting certain looks that I want. I have done crosses. I have done certain ones, Montanas being one. I've done Turkmenicus crosses, Afghan crosses, of course.
Yeah.
And I have attempted the Angramania cross at a very limited degree.
Yeah. They'll crossbreed? I mean, they'll be fertile and everything? They're not...
At this moment, not that I've found.
Yeah.
But I could tell you, I have not done a lot. I think the way to do it is to use a female. Use a male regular, macularis, whatever morph you use, mix with an Angramania female, and there just isn't that many pairs of those out there willing to give up. So I think you'll see more of that in the future from different breeders and trying it out. And hey, you know what? I have nothing against that. That's how we find new stuff, new crosses, new morphs, new looks. As long as there's pures out there and it's marketed correctly, this is a
you
whatever.
label it correct and don't mix the mixed up ones back in with the other colonies. Yeah. I know that's sacrilege in some groups. Some groups they want to crucify you for even thinking that, but
frogs, big time.
Yeah. So
they look down upon big time because you could mix any of the tinctorius species, the cobalt, Caesorius, or you can mix Aratus, any kind of Aratus, and that's a big no in the dart frog marketplaces to market that and sell that. And you could find pictures of hybrids, and some are really, really pretty, and I agree with them. I've never done any mixing of any dart frog stuff. I think they're beautiful in their own. There's no reason to mix them, but they are very, very against that.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. No, I think there has to be some kind of, quality control in some kind of ethics out there. Like the dart frogs, they're from different areas anyway. I mean, they wouldn't crossbreed in the wild, right?
Some would, some wouldn't. And to be honest with you, some of the stuff you see come in, they might have. And you know what? It's commonplace to see frogs come in that are wild caught or farm. The big thing now is farm raised, where they actually have captive bred farms in. I believe they have it in Colombia at the moment, where they'll farm raise them there from populations that they have collected and then send them to us. So it's one step better from purchasing right from the wild. You're technically getting a captive bred animal, and you're saving the animals, from purchasing right from the population. So I think that's an awesome idea.
The conservation.
They got going.
As long as the farms are, keeping, they're not mixing stuff,
Right, and they generally work a lot with thumbnails, and they're, it's not a farm like we think of. I mean, you can easily find pictures on the net of these places, and I got to really commend the dart frog community as far as conservation goes, because they really do put their money where their mouths are in that spot, and try and do projects like that, and not bring in and decimate these wild populations.
Yeah, there's enough. There's enough destruction of our rainforest and everything else down there. We don't need to add to it just to have a cool-looking frog in our living room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's so many. You can buy captive bred frogs, dart frogs at almost any show, or they're very readily accessible at a really good price. So to me, it's not needed.
Don't they lay their eggs under leaves or something? They're not like you don't really have a tadpole pollywog type thing, do you? That swims in a pond,
They love coconut huts with petri dishes underneath them, and that's another great point you brought up. And when you get into frogs, there's a commitment that comes with the other side of it is they can be prolific, and a lot of tadpoles require having their own cup. That you have to do water changes every week. You have to feed them certain things. So it's not a breeze. I mean, let me tell you, you're selling the frogs for $30 a piece, but there's a lot of work that goes into that little froglet by the time it gets to the market.
So there's like one tadpole, one cup kind of a thing?
Yeah. I mean, there's certain times of year in the breeding season, there'll be a few hundred cups.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I know.
Right.
I find strings of frog eggs, toad eggs, strings of them in the streams around here, and then there's different ones that attach clumps to rocks in the river down here. And I mean, it's just it's like certain spots where it's warmer and deeper. If you jump in there, it's just like you jumped into a vat of tapioca or something. It's slime everywhere, and it's like, God, all of these little pollywogs it's just amazing how many, they seem to have certain spots every year they go to in the wild here anyway. And I got to take the camera down there and take some pictures. But it just amazes me how many there are.
An interesting fact, too, is that the types of frogs you're talking about, they're more of a sprint. They're going to dump out everything they have at a certain time of year to grow up. They have a lot of eggs at one shot. Dart frogs are a marathon. They will lay 5 to 12 and sometimes 20. My Terribilis lay 22, 26 eggs sometimes every 7 to 14 days.
Oh, my God.
And they could do this for a few months.
Oh, okay. So that's they do that to kind of spread their, the chances of the young surviving. They probably lay them in different places and stuff too in the wild.
Yep, right in a bromeliad. They'll actually raise them themselves. If you don't pull and this has happened to me where I missed a clutch or they didn't put underneath the petri dish and they put it in the back of the tank on a pothos sleeve, and you'll go in and you'll see the male carrying these tadpoles on his back and dumping them in the water dish. Wow. And that's what they would do. The male would carry the tadpoles to a bromeliad or some other place of water, and the female would then go around and drop unfertilized eggs in there, and that's what they would feed on.
That's what the young tadpoles eat?
Yep, that's what they would grow on. Now, luckily for us,
they're amazing.
You can do that. You could yank them and feed them an artificial food, but there's also obligate egg feeders, which means you can't do that. They need to eat whatever's in the unfertilized egg. They require more so than what we could duplicate. Those frogs are much more expensive, and those are the pomelios, the more higher end frogs.
That's amazing.
And some of those can go for $1,800 a pair. They can be very expensive.
Yeah, no, I can see where. Yeah, they probably get some kind of flora or something from the eggs, or from the unfertilized eggs that they have to have. Aids in digestion.
Whatever ingredients are in there, we can't give them, at least at the moment.
Just can't duplicate it at the time. Yeah, no, that's amazing stuff. It's weird how nature adapts to whatever. Adapts to whatever it needs to do to procreate.
I really want to get those now.
I know. Now I want to be online all night looking all this stuff up.
With the live plants on the frogs, have you ever heard of or used bartery round like Anubias or anything like that? Any of the type of Anubias? Like, I know I grow them here in my aquarium and they go nuts, but I know they're more of a bog plant. Have you heard of or anybody using something like that?
I know you can. I have not used them with our setups only because the water systems are more for the breeding and being careful with the tadpoles, and they're complicated yet simplistic in certain ways. So I don't use many of the water type plants. It depends. Like our display tanks, they're very sophisticated with bromeliads and different kind of miniature ficus, and they're more for fun, and the frogs breed in there, then so be it. But the breeder tanks are a lot more simplistic with a lot of easier plants like pothos and things of that nature, or miniature bromeliads. Makes it a lot easier to maintain. So you can use them. I haven't yet.
How about lighting?
Lighting, great question. They do not require special lighting. Regular fluorescent bulbs, they basically require the photo period. That's really big, is a 12-hour photo period for them. But no special UV, UVA, UVB bulbs.
No full spectrum or nothing. I know the plants need it. Certain plants.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
a lot of plants
the lighting
are low lighting plants, anyways. But yeah, go ahead.
Right. I mean, I use the aquarium and plant lights from Home Depot, the 4-foot ones that go in our section, and they're far from being an advanced LED, system. But I can tell you, every month I got to go in and rip handfuls of these plants out because they grow like mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of like the paludarium, half fish and half arboreal. I did crested geckos, and a lot of those plants that you're using in the dart frogs, those are like, the bottom layer of the rainforest. So they don't need, full spectrum lighting and all that crazy stuff. They'll do just fine.
Yeah.
So
I could go crazy setting something like that up. I used to do a lot of terrariums and, that whole thing.
Yes. And Pat, do you see a lot of people selling, or do you sell pre-built, like planted terrariums at shows?
We will customize anything for anybody. Do we bring them to the shows? No, only because I got so much other stuff to bring along. They're heavy.
To
bring a 10 or 20 gallon plant. Yeah, not only that, I had to fit it in the car, and it just, so we've done them and we bring them, and we meet people and bring them the finished product and work with them every step of the way. But there are people that sell some at shows, and there's some companies that specialize in that. But for the majority, what you're going to find at shows is extremely basic, because they want to keep the cost down. They're not paying a huge attention to the drainage layer, using a screening between the ABG mix and the drainage so does it mix, putting leaf litter down, using sphagnum moss instead of live moss to go cheaper, not using tough stuff on the background and, customizing it with brown silicone and planting. And you could go on and on and on. Their goal is to keep it simple. They want to keep the aquarium under $100 so the consumer can walk away with it. Now, we do that too. We'll make anything anybody wants. And we even give the customer the option to supply their own tank. So we don't, you want to make it cheaper, you have one, we'll do it up for them.
Yeah, and I could see where you could really go crazy on something like that. I mean, paying attention to detail and...
Jeff, I'm visualizing like some 3-foot wide, 5-foot deep, 7-foot tall, and doing some of those shows down by like LA where all the movie stars are.
Yeah,
because they're the ones with the cheddar to pay for that.
Yeah, no, you have to get a show on TV, tanked or something, frog tanked.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the one I made that was $8,000 was 7 foot tall by 8 foot across.
Wow!
And it's stocked. I think there was 24 frogs in there restocked. I mean, it was amazing.
And you set everything up, and you got everything going, and
from the LEDs. I mean, there was no spared no expense. It was the LED lightings, halogens. We had bromeliads in there the size of basketballs. It was nice.
When you think about it, $8,000 is really not that much. I mean, the time you put into it and collecting everything and planning, and there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, I don't know that much about it, but dang.
Yeah. I used to work with a fish guy.
That was $8,000 in just customizing and frogs.
Yeah.
The setup was already built. They pre-built it was like a custom cabinet with glass and 200-gallon aquarium on the bottom. So that was $8,000 before I even got there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
no, that's fun. Yeah.
She's been it was a good amount of money. It was a beautiful setup.
No, that sounds cool.
Yeah. That's something to look into.
It is. I mean, the average tank we do is about $200. That's with the custom background and everything else there.
Yeah, that's not bad. And it's something you can sit and watch. It's not like leopard geckos in a milky plastic bin. Sometimes I feel bad for them almost. I take them outside to take pictures of them, and they're all looking around. Well, the non-albino ones are anyway. They're all looking around, and
that's what the sun looks like.
Yeah, what's that orange thing?
Get it away.
Sometimes I question myself, and a lot of them, that's, for generations after generation after generation, how many years? That's all they've seen is tubs.
Yeah.
I got a couple of tanks that I still have that I kind of set up, but they spend most of the time in the dang hides anyway, so they come out at night.
Yeah, definitely. So do you guys want to do the trivia thing and take a couple callers if they want to call in?
Sure.
Yeah, let's see if anybody wants to call in.
Let's see if I know anyone.
Yeah, if you guys do want to call in and try to win the $50 gift card to Luxurious Leopards, tell me in the chat what your area code is, so I'm not just answering everybody. Yeah, so go ahead and call in, and we're just going to keep talking until somebody calls in.
Yeah. So call in and vote for me.
Yes.
Oh, wait, that's American Idol thing.
Morgan, does
What?
In the queue, does it show up when somebody pushes 1 or not, or does it all just show up as numbers when they call?
I don't know what that means.
Well, when we call in, it says. When we call you, it says press 1 to talk to the host or just stay on the line to listen to the show. So we press 1.
Oh,
Don't worry,
yeah,
folks.
you guys...
We really know what we're doing.
Well, you have 3 people here. You've got me, Jeff, and Jeremy. So if nobody calls in...
Yeah. Flip a coin or something.
Yes, a 3-sided coin.
Pat, you said you worked with cave geckos also, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, what species of caves do you work with?
Currently, I just have the Haiensis. I've done Uranus and the Orientalis and Luai a long time ago, but just getting back in them a little bit, and I can tell you, Jamie from Razor Sharp Reptiles, I mean, he is the guy for cave geckos. He does an amazing job with them. They're in huge health, and he's really taught me a lot of good tips and tricks and, how to get those guys to thrive.
Yeah,
that's where I got mine from.
Yeah. No, I've been looking at the caves and stuff lately, and it's like, dang. But I only have so much room.
The cool part is
unfortunately,
really
that's what it
easy
comes
to take
down
care
to.
of.
Yeah, they're
okay, we have a caller.
Sweet.
We've got Brooke. Hang on 1 second. Let me try to figure out how to work this. All right, Brooke. So, Pat, why don't you go ahead and fire away a question at her?
Hey, Brooke, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hi, Brooke.
Hey, do you have any questions for us first before we throw a question at you?
That is a good question. I just felt guilty most of it.
How many leopard geckos do you keep at home?
I have 4.
She needs
4.
more.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
you
need some more. So let's give you an easy question. How good are you with genetics of the leopard gecko morphs?
Oh dear.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a good one. Okay.
Better than
How
I
about
hope
this?
I am.
I'll give you an easier one. Name me 2 subspecies.
Okay, we've got Montanus. We've got, oh dear, Statuana.
There you go. All right, put her name down.
Hardwicky, there we go. My brain froze a minute.
It's all good.
No need to be nervous. We're all friends.
Okay, so I'm gonna put your name in the hat over here.
Okay.
Sorry, we're super professional here.
He's got a hat and everything.
Rabbit out of that hat, Morgan?
What?
You gonna pull a rabbit out of that hat?
No, I put the name in an empty whiskey glass. It's okay.
Oh, no.
There's not a hole in the hat, right?
So, wait, because Brooke's on the line. Brooke, you're actually a sponsor of Late Night Leos. Why don't you tell people a little bit about what kind of stuff you do?
I didn't know I'd be on the spot.
Yeah, sorry.
It's free advertisement.
Free advertisement.
That's true. I do graphic arts, logo designs, pet portraits, character designs, that sort of thing.
Really neat stuff too, I might add.
Thank you.
Brooke, what's the name of your business?
It's called Residual Arts. You can find me on Facebook, Residual Arts.
Awesome.
Nice.
Everybody check out Residual Arts.
Yeah, and it's really, really good stuff. It's not like crap. It's nice. I like it.
Didn't she do the gecko in the zoot
You can have
suit?
Morgan do your marketing. No, you just have him. It's not crap. It's good stuff. Go check it out.
It's the best compliment I've ever gotten.
Because we hate crap here.
We clean a lot of it.
Brooke, you did the late night Leo's thing with the gecko and the zoot suit standing by the streetlight. Wasn't that yours?
Yep, that's
He's
mine.
in a trench coat.
Trench coat. I don't.
Coat. Not
he's
in a
cool
zoot
looking. No. Well, trench coat, gecko mafia. No, I love
we're
that
not
thing.
affiliated.
Cool design. Yeah.
Disclaimer.
No affiliations.
Yeah.
And if Morgan ever needs anything for his coffee mugs, he knows.
Yeah. Speaking of coffee mugs.
Well, that's part of. I'm actually hoping that she'll do a concept piece for me for some special stuff that's happening to Late Night Leos in 2015. But I'd like to get some stuff for some coffee mugs. I know that Jeremy's going to be putting the current Late Night Leos logo on some coffee mugs, right, Jeremy? So I'm
working on it, boss. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
And it's West Coast Breeders Alliance
now,
needs
I don't see it on here.
Yeah, the West Coast Breeders Alliance needs some too, or association, whatever they call themselves.
Alliance. Don't we need a banner or something?
Yeah, a flag. Let's just get a flag.
Yeah, flags are cool.
So, nobody else is calling in. But, yeah, you want to hang on the line, Brooke, or you want us to let you go until you win? Or
Don't look at luxurious leopards.
Go check out the album.
No, Angela, don't call in. Don't do it.
Yeah, Angela's going to call it. Then it'll be like a 50-50.
Yeah. Ask me a question. I already called in. Do I get a question? No, I don't need any more stuff. I got to sell some of these ones so I can buy more.
Oh, jeez.
So how many times you guys check your cooker while we've been on the radio show?
Our what?
Oh, I wish I could.
Oh, you can't see it from where you can't walk and go see where it is.
No, my facility's 20 minutes from my house, so no, it's separate. So I fortunately can't check it. We check it every day though, like clockwork.
Yeah, no, mine's just in the other room, so I've walked in there a couple times. It's stuff ready to go. Well, I think it's ready to hatch, but they have different plans, I guess.
Okay, we have another caller. So
how many leopard geckos? Oh, another caller. All right, I'll save my question till later.
Okay.
We have Angela on the line.
Hi, Angela.
Hey, guys. I'm sorry if my voice is a little rough. I'm kind of having problems with it today. But I didn't want to skip calling in. So, hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Angela.
Hi. She's smart. You better give her a good question.
Oh, no, please no. I've had a long day. But actually, I did actually want to ask a question of Pat. Since you're working with the Angras, I wanted to ask, have you noticed a difference in temperament with them? Like I've heard, that some of the subspecies are just, I don't know, a little different than your average, more, I don't know, inbred isn't the right word. I'm not sure well right now, but since they're closer to the more wild types, more domesticated, thank you, since they're not quite as domesticated, if there's a temperament difference.
That's an excellent question. And before I got these guys in, I got mine from over Europe. They keep everything very different from us as far as certain subspecies. They do the Exoterra tanks, and they're made up, and it's a lot different. So when we brought them in here, we kept them in the 32-quart rack system like our regular leopards, and we were told, they're not gonna thrive that way. They need to do your roaches, and they're more touchy. And let me tell you, these things had no problems. I mean, they started pounding mealworms from day one. They thrive in the rack systems, but they are a little bit more sketchy. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold myself. So they sketchy as far as they don't want to be handled as much. They're a little bit more flighty. They don't have an attitude, but they're not just going to sit there. Like I got giants that are just lazy as all heck. But these guys they can move if they want to.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I have a little bold bandit cross that thinks she's pure evil. So I was just wondering if that was common in the other subspecies, but that's cool.
I've noticed it, and I crossed an Affy to a supergiant trimper and incubated for all females. But when they were younger, they were just crazy. They've mellowed out a lot now, but I still have one or two that just they don't like bins. As soon as you open that bin, they want out.
So Angela, would you like a question?
Sure, why not? I can't guarantee I'll answer it well, though.
That's all right. You got nothing to lose. You want you like how genetics question? Are you consider yourself pretty good?
Doesn't matter.
All right. Let's give you an easy one. I'm guessing you've been listening to the show so far. So name 3 projects that Luxurious Leopards works with.
3 projects Luxurious Leopards works with. Oh,
Any 3.
You would test my memory. Any 3. Okay, let me see. You did mention some extremely limited Angerman U crosses. Do they have to be ones mentioned on the show?
No, it could be anything.
No. Okay, then you also have some really awesome Infernos, I do believe.
Yeah.
Correct.
And, what else? Let me see. I don't know if that was a joke or not, but you said something about the Montanus white and yellow. But that might have been a joke.
That was not a joke. No, you were paying attention.
I remembered that one. Okay. Is that
all right? We got a winner. Put her in a hat.
All right, she's in the hat.
She's in the whiskey glass.
The whiskey glass.
Oh, I was in it. Long day. Okay. So, okay. Well, thanks, guys. I should probably
no
let
problem.
you go with another glass of tea. So.
Okay, it was nice talking to you.
Thanks. You guys have a great night.
You too.
You too.
You too.
In the whiskey glass. We got 2 callers in the whiskey glass.
for
All right,
people
50-50 shot. Let's anybody else let's call in.
Yeah, if people aren't in the chat room and you're listening from some other device, the number
Press
is 1. The number is 1-646-716-5403. So,
come on, callers.
So, yeah. Anyways, Pat, you work with the Tangelo. Is that?
Yes, let's get
now
into
a lot
that.
of people. Yeah, let's get into that
Lord.
one.
It's too late for this conversation.
You work with the Tangelo gene / project / morph. What in your experience is it? Recessive, dominant, polygenic, line bred? Is it really a tangerine? What do you think?
Oh, how to start this conversation without pissing anybody off?
Yeah, I know.
This is, among the projects we have, the Pearl charcoal crosses and the Tangelos probably being number one, just the highest controversial projects I've ever worked with of anything in 14 years. In my opinion, I've had a lot of people say, well, why don't you just call them tangerine trempers and be done with it? And essentially that is what they are. They're tangerine trempers, but I believe strongly in the respect for the work that was done and using the line and the name. Obviously, Ron Tremper made the Tangelo. And that's where our line comes from, and that's why I like to keep the name, and I probably have a hell of a lot less grief if I just called it a tangerine tremper. I don't find it to be dominant. I certainly don't find the tangerine to be recessive. I know there's still work out there with sunsets and things like that, trying to figure that out, and I have since not found that with my crosses and my work. But I still, more power to those individuals working with it. I hope they prove it wrong. I think a recessive tangerine would be interesting, but I just don't see how that would work at this point. But, you still got to go down every avenue, and I think it's a great project to work on. But I think what's happening is every year we're line breeding these Tangelos, obviously, where, I'm hand-picking out the best-looking ones for the next year's stock to go ahead and kind of up, as you will. That's how you stay in the game. And I think what's happening is the orange is getting so and getting such this deep red color, it's overtaking these white bands. And what you're seeing is more of a hypo effect. And you're having people who are confused. Right, they're confusing it for a sun glow, to which these are not sun glows. If you look at a baby sun glow versus a baby Tangelo right next to it, any experienced breeder who knows 10% of genetics can pick it out. So they are not sun glows. There is no hypogene. And that's not to say there is not Tangelo sun glow crosses. I know Marcia has some excellent looking ones. They are phenomenal. But she markets them as that. It says it right in there, and that's what you can expect. We do not put hypogene in ours. At this point, the only cross we have is Raptor Tangelos. I have not put it into anything else. So that's all I have. There's no hypo, but like I said, we've been working with Tangelos now for, I believe it's 6 years, and it's just getting better and better and better. And each year, you don't see how these things can get any brighter, can get any deeper orange, can get any wow, and they do. Every single year, it astounds me what happens with the color change in these guys. That is what's happening. So now I think the project has to change. Instead of focusing more on the color, I'm focusing more on the contrast. trying to bring back those white bands, the white tail, because it's harder to get color than to bring it the other way around. So I think that's where people are getting confused, because you see it on Ron's site and you see it on my site, some animals that have that hypo-ish look where the bands are starting to disappear, but make no mistake, there's no hypo in there. So I don't know where people got steered by that wrong, or individuals, like I said, didn't know their genetics and just started rumors, which we all know happens in the leopard gecko world a lot, but there's no hypos in there. Well, I know, it's crazy talk.
Maybe because they call them super tangelos or something, they get it mixed up with a super hypo, or I don't know.
You know, Jeff, that's a great point, and here's my take on it, super tangelos versus tangelos. If you take tangelos out of the conversation for a minute, and let's say you had a super hypo carrot tail. Well, we all know there's many, many degrees. Let's say you have a really nice male and you breed it to a so-so female. You're going to get some that look you have some that look okay, and you're going to have some that are astounding. So that you can falsely, interpret as a super form of it, but it's not. It's just a line breeding at work.
Yeah, well, super would imply that it's a codom trait, or
correct.
However deep you want to get into it, but that's just a term, a marketing term anyway for super hypo. It's not really
correct. So if somebody says to me, you'll notice I don't market super tangelos. I don't put down super. Or not, they're all tangelos, and somebody says, "This is a super tangelo." Well, it has much better color, and those animals are priced accordingly. But no, there's no super form that I found. And I think this is a great topic for discussion, one that I wish Ron was on the line to talk to as well. It'd be a great question to see what he'd have to say in his findings, because obviously he's the originator of them.
Yeah. I'm sure he's got some stuff in the back room that...
Let's call him.
Oh, yeah.
Call him. Let's call him.
We do have a caller on the line.
I don't think he'd like a prank call.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
We have a caller.
Gets me off the tangelo topic, sure.
I know. I don't know if it's from the tangelo or not. So caller from the 217, who are you?
There it goes.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
You're live on Blog Talk Radio. I guess they don't want to talk to you.
Okay. All right, 217, we'll put you on hold. Okay, we have another one.
Cool.
Caller from the 805, you're on the air. 805.
Hello?
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
Can you turn down your computer?
Yeah, turn down the computer, honey. Oh, hi. I'm Crystal.
Hi, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Hi.
Hey, Crystal. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I just had a opinion on the white and yellow project. I want to start the white and yellow project, but I'm not sure exactly where to start out.
You say that again?
Oh, I want to get into the white and yellow project, and I'm looking at Jeff's Facebook right now to try to pick one, but I'm not sure if I should pick the white and yellow het trempers or if I should go with more along the lines of a white and yellow tangerine.
Huh, yeah.
Because they're both pretty, I just don't know which one's better.
It's entirely where you want to go with it. Breed what you like what you breed, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Crystal,
I don't know.
Do you like orange geckos, or do you like the lighter, whiter geckos?
Well, I like the lighter ones, and my boyfriend likes the orange ones, so we're kind of like at a split decision here.
Well, I think another thing to consider with the white and yellows is identification. You'll find that sometimes tremper white and yellows are a bear to identify, and you get some low expression ones. You get some that right from the egg are beautiful, and you could tell. In my opinion, I work with all three lines. I think white and yellow is made for Bell. I think
Yeah.
Bell white and yellows are, no matter if it's snow or bold striped white and yellow bells, or radar bells are beautiful. White and yellow, I think, fits with Bell, but there's certainly some great looking tangerine white and yellows and some great looking Tremper white and yellows. And like Jeff said, breed what you like and make sure you have fun with it. But I like the Bell versions myself.
The bells, a lot of the bells are the higher expression ones too, and
yes.
And I almost like the het Tremper or the het ones better than the albino ones. I don't know. You can just tell that the white and yellow gene is there.
Yeah, I really like
some
the
of them,
white and yellow.
Yeah,
the snow white and yellows are also really hard to identify. Some of them are really, really tough. So getting into them off the start, I would not go with the snow. And if you're doing a Tremper, make sure you got a real nice. Yeah, don't go with the snow, and make sure your Trempers you're using are from really good stock, like Jeff said, like Jeff's stuff, because if it's not, you're going to have a hard time identifying it. It's going to be a nightmare, and you're going to get frustrated, and it's going to be. They're not like Enigmas. Every Enigma that comes out, you can tell exactly what is an Enigma. I mean, it's very, very easy. These are a lot less subtle in sometimes.
I have some white and yellow. The white and yellow that I have, when they hatched, I didn't think they were white and yellow. And as they grew, I mean, now they're amazing. But I mean, they were kind of ugly when they were young. Not ugly, but I mean, you know how it pastels things out. Yeah, it kind of pastels things out instead of the. And some get really bright too. I mean, the colors get really bright, but these were really kind of drab and pastel. I think I posted one. I'm sure I posted them the other day. But now you can just see the yellow line to where the high white sides are. I got like a side view of it, and it was amazing. These ones that I have now are amazing. I'm kind of working towards that. But I know Morgan's working on a line breeding thing too with them too. But
yeah. This year will be the first year from white and yellow to white and yellow, cross to white and yellow, cross to white and yellow.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to do siblings to each other. I mean, they're all related to one male that I got, I don't know, 3 years ago or whenever I got it. But I'm trying to use different not siblings together. Not that I don't know if it's good or bad or what, but I'm just kind of staying away from it.
You know, this has got to be the worst answer to a question I've ever heard.
I know, huh?
It's going on and on and on.
I know.
It's a hard question to answer.
These are really nice, but sometimes they're hard to ID, and these are cool, but sometimes they're always low expression. And I mean, I know what you're talking about.
The tangerine ones are really cool.
Yeah, and Jeff's cross to the Pacific Tangs, those are really nice.
Yeah, those are coming out nice too. And I know a lot of people are looking for the pure white and yellow with no heads. Well,
that's me. I was looking for those. It's not easy to find.
No, and I'm sure that people are working on that. I know mine aren't het for Tremper. The ones that I don't say that are het for Tremper, because that's why I have so many that are het Tremper, because I was testing it out last year. But test breeding takes up so much room, so much time, so many animals. It comes up to trust. I got to trust who I got it from, and do testing every year.
And then selling to people that you know, because say you're test breeding and you sell those babies, and then those people are also test breeding those. If you're friends with those people, then you can still build your family tree, even though you don't have those animals in your possession.
Yeah, I kind of like to keep track of what goes where, and what how they're working with it, and I'm amazed at some of the stuff I'm seeing from things that I've let loose, and other people are working on. It's like, dang, that's cool looking. But it's fun, yeah. And then just do what you like. I mean, just have fun with it. That's my motto. I mean, I'm just a hobbyist that I sell the animals because I run out of room and I want to buy more. I mean, it's not really a great big business or nothing. But and I'm happy to break even every year, keep the hobby going. And I do landscape for a living, but this is just fun. But
so that kind of
go with your gut. Go with where your heart is.
Yeah.
So pretty much pick what's pretty.
Yeah. If you like pretty, then
there you go.
No, just the ugly ones. Yeah, and you can, if you're looking at my stuff, you can message me or look at Pat's stuff or Morgan's or I'm not real competitive in this. I'd rather have people get what they are going to be happy with than me to make a sell. I'm just not like that at all. But
if you're competing with the West Coast Breeders Alliance,
he almost said association.
Yeah, see,
whatever, yeah, something like that.
It's the alliance. But I'm all for people getting what they want and what they're going to be satisfied with. I wouldn't be make a hard sell just to make a sell and then have the people not happy. That's not that's not me, number one, and it probably wouldn't be good business either. But yeah, message me or just look around at what's out there, and kind of make up your mind on what you like. That's always the best thing to do. What you like, what's in your price range, and go from there.
Yeah, I've been looking everywhere.
Yeah, and white and yellows. I mean, they're really neat to work with. I like them a lot. I've been doing. I have quite a few going on now. I've got some paradox stuff that I'm working on too. Hopefully, waiting on those eggs to hatch. I think Pat might have a question for you, and you can win a $50 gift.
I was going to say, you want a question to get added to the whiskey bottle or glass?
Yeah.
I could try. I'm pretty new at this. I don't know much about anything.
I'll give you an easy one. I know you got the computer there, so you could cheat if you want. All right. Cool. So you're looking into white and yellows. Tell me how they work genetically. Are they co-dominant, line bred, or dominant?
Or recessive?
That's not fair.
I was narrowing it down a little bit more for you.
Yeah. That's a good point too. It's something you want to know before you start working with them.
Yeah. Yes, I'm completely new at working with pretty much anything. That's why I was trying to find the pure white and yellows, but obviously they're not very easy to find or don't exist. So
yeah.
So I'm just gonna assume that I'm just gonna assume that they're dominant.
There you
you got it.
Okay.
Put her name in the whiskey jug.
To the whiskey glass with you.
Yeah.
Don't touch the jug.
Yeah, no, it's a dominant trait. So
it's a jug.
Yeah, it's a jug now. You filled up the glass.
Bigger, jeez.
Morgan, you polish off that bottle now. You can throw them in there, right?
Yeah, that's a good thing about a dominant trait is like, well, with the white and yellow is you can take the white and yellow, and if you have one white and yellow male being a dominant trait, you can breed it to, well, I'd say anything, but I mean, you can breed it to something that's compatible, and you're going to pop up white and yellow babies here and there.
Well, that's
I will
good.
say it doesn't seem like the percentages are right with white and yellows. Like you should get technically 50-50.
Yeah.
But it seems like you get a lot less than 50-50 with white and yellows.
Yeah, it depends, too, on what you breed them to. And certain females From what I've found anyway, certain females pop out more white-tailed than other ones.
You're right. I should have specified bells. I get a lot less bells than I should.
Yeah. See, I haven't worked with bells. I love them, but I just don't have the room.
It's only because you want more bells, Pat.
Yeah, I will take all of them. You know what? I'm more of a Tremper fan, believe it or not.
Yeah, I like them all. I mean, I can't really say which ones I like. I mean, I love rainwater stuff.
We'll just get you some Agremania, then you'll just like them.
Yeah, I'll sell everything and just breed the Agremania there. You know.
There you go. Do you have any other questions, or we appreciate you calling in? Anything else we can help you
thank
answer?
you very much.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Good, thank you.
And you can message me on Facebook, and I'll show you what I have available. I know I never update my Magalia Gecko project site because I lag.
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah. And
All right, thank you guys.
Well, thank you.
Not a problem.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, see, that's cool. More people are getting into it. I mean.
Yeah, we got a new caller.
Yeah, we got a new caller too.
All right.
No, I know there's a lot of I don't know. I see it on Facebook and some of the other sites where there's, I don't know, I call them predatory breeders, where they see someone new popping up and they don't know much, and they say, hey. I know you guys see that too, and it's like, man, it's just not right. So I always give people options, look around, see what you like. People need getting into it. You don't want to see them getting taken. But hey, everybody!
Awesome. You said we have another caller. Morgan, are you hitting that whiskey jug?
I think he's needing.
I'm looking for a caller.
I thought you were hitting up the whiskey jug.
Morgan's on the floor right now.
Well, for every caller, he's drinking a shot.
A shot?
Right,
what do you think I am, a lightweight? Okay, let's try to pick up the 217 again. See if they want to talk. So, caller from the 217, you're on the air with Late Night Leos.
Hello?
Hey. Hello.
Who are we talking to?
Hello. This is Aaron. Oh, my gosh, I accidentally called.
No,
Were you
that's good.
calling somebody else?
What'd you say?
Were you calling somebody else, or?
Oh, no, I was calling in just to listen, and I guess my phone decided I was going to call in and talk to you.
Well, cool.
You're stuck with us now.
Yeah, now you can't leave. So
well, while you're here, you have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having issues with eggs prematurely passing away in the incubator. Is there any reason why that would happen?
Wow.
What's your supplementation?
Well, I use the vermiculite. Is that what you're asking?
No, what do you give the gecko, the females and the males, like calcium-wise?
I give them the Zilla calcium, and I also give them the Herpetite multivitamin mix.
Oh,
okay, what I would probably do is change that. I would go with RepCal. I've used that for many years, and now I'm using Vionate and Osteoform, but a lot of this isn't to bash the bigger companies like Flukers and, Tetrafon and all those that have their own, but I find that more attention to detail is done by the more specific companies that just do that. Like RepCal specializes in the supplementation and the food diets, and it's really more up their alley. And a lot of times embryo death is attributed to the nutrition of the female. If they're dying midway through, she might not have enough of what she needs, or it could be how you're incubating. Is it too moist? Is it too light? I highly recommend the Geos, or Reptile Basics has another great, Geo type suspension. Really makes it easy. You can't make them too wet. So I would highly recommend that to anybody starting out with the eggs.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, the GEOs, those in the Reptile Basic ones, those are working great for me. And I use vermiculite.
They are.
Well, what about gut-loaded food for them also, Pat?
Gut-loaded food is a very interesting topic, and that seems to be the big topic for journals right now. Husbandry, a lot of these medical journals are turning to husbandry, like gut loading and UV lighting, and doing more studies on that. It was once thought that, the timing is changing now. Now they're saying that you should really do 3 days of gut loading, and you should use certain foods and, certain gut loads. And it used to be 24 hours. Now it's seeming to take a little bit longer. And that's a little all over the place at the moment as far as gut loading. I think it is very important to gut load your food, but I think it's even more important to proper supplement the food once you did the gut loading. It's kind of like taking the ball to the 99-yard line and dropping it. So I think in combination is a really, really good thing to do. And, for me, I use natural foods like carrots and yams and things like that for all my feeders. We have 5 roach colonies that get nothing but vegetables, and that's it. So it's very important to gut load, and it's a great question. But as far as the timing goes, the longer the better. It's tough for some of us medium-sized to large breeders because we're going through 20,000, 30,000 mealworms a week, and we're flying through them very quickly. So the supplementation is extremely important, and managing the timing when these insects are coming in to gut load.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Did you like a question to enter our gift card drawing?
I haven't got anything to lose, so why not?
There it is.
Why not? Hey, that's a great attitude. Why the heck not? How many leopard geckos you got at home?
About 14.
14, all right. Name me the 3 strands of albino.
Oh, Tremper, Bell, and Rainwater.
All right, he did the work. Put it in the hat with a whiskey jar.
She's got her name in the jug.
It's ready to go.
It's going to be a barrel here soon.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then we'll be in trouble. Awesome. Great work. Any other questions we can help you with?
Yeah, I've been having aggression with females with my males, and they're very deep into ovulation. So what do you think? I mean, are they unbreedable or?
Oh, that's an excellent question. A question I get a lot this time of year through PMs and emails and follicle grading. And it sounds like you're working on it, and you obviously know that they are ovulating, which is more than half of the battle. A lot of times people just throw them together and expect, well, they're just going to breed, and that's not the case. They do have to be at a certain point of ovulation to be receptive. Now, what could also happen is that they've already done the job, and they're already fertilized, and the male is just badgering the females. Certain groups, you can't keep them together. The male's got 2 things on his mind: eat and reproduce, and that's what he's going to do year-round, while the females aren't that way. So what I would suggest is giving them a timeout, taking those males out, keep watching the eggs like you are and follicle grading and keeping track of how large they're getting. And if you're not seeing an improvement on egg size, well, then you could try again. But I'd give them at least a week.
Okay, cool.
The females, I know I have a couple females that when they're ready for the males, they're ready for them. But as soon as they're done with them, they're done with them.
Yeah, they get an attitude, and then it's not worth it. And most of our males, that we have male racks, and we only have a couple groups that I can actually keep the male in year-round, but to be honest with you, 95% of our males live in a rack outside by themselves until breeding season.
Yeah. Cause
that's the way I have it. The males are separated.
Yeah, they'll pester them. And the females can fight. They fight back. They can and will do some damage to the males if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah, and also you can make sure to put the male with the female, not the other way around, kind of put him on her turf. That might take even off the ground if you're not doing it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've done that both ways. I put the females in with the males before, but I have better results when I bring the male to the female.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
much better.
I've got one of your boys, Jess.
Do you?
Yeah, you just sent them to me, Sarah and Lindsay.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
No, you got that cool Trimper guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he was one of the neat ones, and I know I don't know, you bought him and then he started developing and looking really cool. And I was like, man, I already sold him. But no, he should be doing the job. And I know I got one of his brothers that's he's already been busy.
He's been trying, but the females just won't let him.
Yeah, just do like what Pat said, and you know, they're probably just not ready. How's that Tangerine doing? Good?
Oh, yeah, she's doing great.
Sweet.
Yeah, she's calmed down quite a bit after the whole shipping fiasco.
Yeah. Shipping's hard on them. It's real hard on them. Well, any other questions?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, good to talk to you here, Aaron.
Yeah, good talking to you.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah,
thanks for calling in.
Yeah. Thanks
for letting me call in.
Yeah. No, I didn't recognize it. I thought she said Aaron when she first came on, but I don't know. My hearing's not the best.
All right, so we got 20 more minutes, so I guess if anybody else wanted to call in, let me try to find the number here, 1-646-716-5403,
and we have to say happy birthday to Marcy. It's her birthday today.
Yes, happy birthday,
Marcy.
Marcy.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Yvonne.
I don't know who Marcy is, but...
You don't know Marcy?
No, I don't know Marcy.
Oh, man.
Marcy.
Roach Chow? Come on,
Roach Chow.
You got to sing the song, right?
It's the whiskey. It's just the whiskey talking.
Yeah.
I never did the Roach Chow. I'm a pro geckos guy.
Yeah, no, this stuff works really good. I use it on my stuff, but yeah, no, Marcy's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I'll have to try that stuff.
If she sends
take a picture of you taking a spoonful. I want to see you eat it.
Try it. Eat it.
I want it on a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Do it.
A picture of him eating some of it.
A selfie. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And you got to show the green tongue afterwards, or it didn't happen. No, it's for the insight.
Don't they have to call in also before 10 o'clock? Otherwise, they're not going to be able to listen to the third hour.
Yeah.
If you guys want to listen to our after party for 18 and over, then you have to call in between now and 15 minutes from now, or else it'll just cut you off.
That's when the scandals happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just for 18 and over, and there won't not be any secret announcements.
or there might be.
Yeah. There might not never.
You never know.
Yeah.
You just never know. So back to supplements, Pat. Are you using the osteoform in the Bionate mix?
I am.
I've
we use
been
the
using that
osteoform
too.
Bionate, and I've been doing that for a long time now, 3-4 years, and I see good results. I mean, this year's been a really wacky year for breeding. We had a lot of eggs. It was really hot and heavy, and I think we're up to probably 350 babies on the ground, but then all of a sudden egg production just went down. And it was I didn't know what was going on. Our weather is really wacky here. We're finally starting to see spring. We had a horrible winter. I think that affects us guys a lot.
Yeah, what do you think about, spit it out, Jeff, what do you think about barometric pressure and females laying at certain, I don't know, I always try to look at all the angles, position of the moon,
I think
phases.
I think it has a lot to do with it as far as what time of year they breed. Now, like I start breeding in October. I mean, I'm way ahead of the majority of breeders as far as getting animals out, just because that's when my collection just starts to go. I mean, we don't do anything special to the room as far as temperature or humidity or anything like that. It's just every single year they decide to go in the fall, and we already have babies at Christmas time. So
you don't do a cool down or anything like that, huh?
No, I don't believe in cool downs for leopard geckos. It's not needed, and I don't believe in putting them into any undue stress. It's not needed. Now, that might be, I live in an area where we have 4 seasons. So maybe for individuals that are in the warmer climates, you need that. Now, for me, I don't. So I can only speak for our climates.
It gets cold here. I do everything I can just to keep the room warm in the wintertime. But, I've tried, I don't know, I tried it on one of the racks. I kind of turned the T-stat down a little bit, but I haven't noticed any difference as far as production or I haven't noticed any difference as far as production or anything like that. And we'll see which, the mortality rate of eggs too. I'm kind of keeping tabs on it just to see.
I think supplementation is one of the most important deals.
Yeah, I supplement the osteo and vionate mix, and when I get low on that, I have the Rep Cal that I put in there till Amazon sends me my new stuff.
Do you guys all use the 4-to-1 vionate to osteo?
Yes.
Yeah, that's about. Yeah. I do that.
It's also important not to put the vionate mixture with the worms. You'll have a heck of a time. You leave the bowls separate. They actually just take what they need instead of you putting it. Most people think, well, we're going to throw it with the worms and they're going to eat it every time. Well, there's a lot of vitamins in vionate that is fat soluble, what the gecko can't get rid of. So we don't want to shove it down their throat like D3 and things like that they really don't need. So if you put it in with the and that's going to cause issues too. Early on when I was using it, we had a couple females a year. They would just I'm talking big 60-gram females just die out of the blue, and you're like, well, what happened? They're not egg bound, and the only thing I can attribute it to is overdosing of certain vitamins. Because there's vitamins that are fat and water soluble.
Were you noticing the big calcium pits or whatever they call them, the big arm blisters?
Protein sacks, huh?
Yeah, on those particular ones.
I'm sorry, what was the question? My phone glitched.
Yeah, on the females you had problems with, were you noticing the big protein sacks, calcium sacks on them?
No, actually, there was nothing. They were really nice-looking females, and that was it. I mean, I actually switched supplements about 6 years ago. I was using Rep Cal, and I think it was Zoomed. Yeah, it was Zoomed. I knew a rep. He gave me a lot of these to try it out, and we had like 92% of our eggs die.
Yeah,
and it was just we were just throwing eggs away, and it was just so disheartening. And as soon as I switched, and it gave it some flushing time to get the new vitamin supplement into them, the eggs started being fine. So it has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know this time of year the calcium dish is just, they go, I'm in there, refilling those all the time. I go through a crazy amount of supplement this time of year for the females. But I do once in a while I'll put some vionate in with the mealworms for don't like the hatchlings and stuff like that. I put it in there. I haven't noticed.
We do it for the
problems.
hatchlings.
Yeah.
No, I never. But for the big ones, I separate them, and mainly because the Vionate ends up killing the mealworms. Because we use the dishes with the white dishes with the little clear lid, and they can't get out, and they kind of like, if they spill a water bowl or you put too much Vionate in it, it'll kill those mealworms, and it can start mold. It's bad stuff.
Yeah,
so
no, it's a
keeping the
corn-based
supplement
product.
out is easier.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can get some fungal problems. I know. They usually don't last. The mealworms usually don't last that long in those for the hatchlings and the juveniles. They go through them quick.
Yes.
Hey guys, Brooke has a question again. If you guys want to take her call again, or we could just cancel her phone call.
Yeah, sure. Put her back on.
Call in again.
All right, Brooke.
Hello?
Hey.
Hi, Brooke.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi again.
Did we talk before?
Does this mean I get 2 entries?
I was waiting for that.
I don't know. Does that mean?
That's a good question.
No. I really have a friend, I have a question from a friend, actually.
Okay.
She got a pet-only gecko. I think it's been about 3 weeks ago now. And it was sold to her under the condition that he was a very finicky eater.
Yeah.
But wasn't really given the details of what that meant, and she's been trying to, contact him back, and he hasn't answered. But she's offered him, I think, waxworms, roaches, supers, and mealworms, and he won't eat any of them.
Well, try hornworms and silkworms.
Is there like a chance? Say what?
Did she try dubia also?
Yes.
Okay.
What's she keeping him in?
Yeah, temperatures.
Is it in a rack system or is it in an aquarium? And is it an albino?
No, he's not an albino. I believe he's in a 10-gallon tank, and the temperatures are around like 88, 90, I think.
Yeah.
And that could possibly be one of the problems.
Oh.
I would suggest covering up 3 of the 4 sides of the 10-gallon aquarium and adding an extra hide. Every year we probably have 3 or 4 customers who have the same thing, and they say, hey, we can't get it to eat mealworms, can't get it to eat this or that. And the difference is the breeders are using these rack systems, and then they go to a pet, and some just have issues transitioning to the all-glass aquarium being open like that. They're really used to being secure in this little dark spot with their hide. So it sounds like she has gone through the good staples of what to use, which is the mealworms, the crickets, the waxies. In fact, I wouldn't even do waxies. If it's not low on weight, I wouldn't even go down that route. But I would say add another hide, cover some of the sides up, hit the reset button, don't feed them for a couple days, and then try it again.
Yeah.
Well, she said that he was a pretty good weight when she got him, but I guess he's been starting to lose weight the last week, and she's just been really worried.
Yeah, and then
I'd see if the breeder kept him in a rack system. A lot of times that's a tough transition, especially if it was a large animal that the breeder had for a couple years, and that's what they knew. That's where they have issues getting back onto feed if they're, in an aquarium setting.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
They certainly will go back, and they certainly obviously can go a decent amount of time before it's getting like a pathogenic problem with not eating. But you obviously want to switch it around.
She also mentioned that he lays on the cool side, like, a lot, and every time, she goes and picks him up, he's, like, really cold. And I thought, that might have something to do with, his appetite, but I'm wondering why he does that.
I wonder if he has parasites or something.
Well, they're better than we are at telling the temperature. And that's, in the years I've dealt with many different rack systems and many different setups, and I can tell you if there's a rack system that's malfunctioning, or a thermostat, I know by looking at the geckos before anything. If he's sitting on the cold side all the time, I would double check that other side. Is she using an under the tank heater or a basking light?
An under tank heater.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's I told her to double check that actually at the pad and make sure it's not getting too hot, because then they will stay away from it.
Okay.
They have to self-regulate their heat, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah. That's why I was like, that's really weird. Because she has other geckos, and none of them do that, and I believe she keeps them all at the same temperature. So.
Is he alone? He's not with a group of other. He's kept solitary, not in a community tank.
Right. Yeah. He's alone.
Because that could be another factor.
Does your friend want to enter the contest and you can proxy bid and answer the question for them?
You probably wouldn't mind that.
Before we do that, Pat, before we do that, we have 5 minutes, or 4 minutes actually, until the cutoff. So if you guys want to listen to the next hour, you have to call 1-646-716-5403, or you'll just get cut off in the middle of us talking. So you guys got to do that. We won't pick up your call unless you tell us to in the chat. So
we will.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, we will. All right, here's your question. Name me 2 different snow genetics, so 2 snow morphs.
Morphs or like strains?
Lines?
Well, they're not
either.
Lines.
Yeah, lines.
Yeah.
Mac and Tug?
You got it.
Yeah.
Yay!
So what name do you want me to put on this? Brooks friend?
It's Eve. EVE.
It's who?
Eve. EVE.
Easy E.
Eve.
Yeah, Eve.
Whiskey talking again.
Who said what? What? Okay. You're all going to get cut off in 2 minutes. There is one person I really want to answer the number because I don't know who it is, and I've got a question mark on my... Yeah, we're just going to...
Answer it. Do it.
Okay. Do it. Caller from the 816, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Who are we talking to?
Heather Johnson.
Hi, Heather.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning for somebody.
Yeah.
Morning for me.
See, there you go.
That's one of the people with
Sunday.
one of the white and yellows they produced that just produced a really awesome baby. Have you seen that one?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a pretty baby. I'm waiting for the second one to hatch any time now.
Oh, sweet. I got to see that.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be half as nice as the first one. I'll be happy with half as nice, yeah.
You'd be surprised the mixture of different things that come out. And you bred it to
I bred her to an green red stripe.
Yeah, that you got from Sean. Yeah, and you're getting quite a collection there, Heather.
Yeah, I just bought another one from Dawn, too.
Yeah, no, I seen that.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter sucked me into that one. She kept thinking about it and looking at her stuff, and he sent me some pictures. I'm like, okay.
It just seems like a few years ago you're Googling over, you're all in awe over some tangerines or something I posted.
Yes. Yep, but back in the days of Reptile Talk, and
yeah,
this little Craigslist guy who's still sitting here.
No, I try to get as many people addicted as I can. Just my nature.
You're right. You kept telling me I was set. All I wanted was one. That's all I want is just one pet. I don't want to breed. Yeah, well. No. But no, I didn't have a question. I was just calling in to listen. I was listening on the other and didn't want to get cut off.
Well, Pat has a question for you. If you want to be put into the whiskey jug.
Honestly,
you want to go? You want
to get? I don't want to waste $50 on me because I can't buy anything else for a good long while. I just had to buy a new rack too because of all these babies. So.
Well, how long is that $50 gift certificate good for, Pat?
Yeah.
It never expires.
There's no expiration.
I'm so bad.
You can ask a question, but I'd rather someone else win it that would, be more inclined to use it.
She'll use it. Ask her, Pat.
All right. Name me 4 different lines of tangerine.
Oh, good God. Infernos. What are those? Oh, my favorite, Pacific Green or Emerine. I get put on the spot. My mind goes blank. Tangerine. Not my thing. I really.
What about JMG? What's their line?
I don't know. The only thing I've got from JMG is their extreme trimpers.
Yeah.
Help her out, Jeff. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not a Tang person, so.
Hemoglobin.
Yeah, there you go. If it's not a white blood cell, it's a.
What is JMG?
Blood.
Yeah, the blood.
Oh.
Bloodlines.
Don't get me started on bloods. I think they're a joke. Honest to God, I think they're.
Controversy.
Love the coffee.
And I only say that because it to me it seems like it's so watered down that everything I see people posting is blood. I'm like, okay, if you say so, I don't see it.
Are we in the 18 plus hour now?
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 and over only.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
No, if you get the bloods, crazy. If you get the bloods from JMG, you're gonna get the bloods.
I'll have to look because I haven't.
But I know a lot of people out there just because it's a big name, they're saying blood or tornado or whatever the big name is. They put that on the animal they're trying to sell.
Yeah.
And it's
has a quarter of a fraction of blood actually in it.
Yeah, so we're talking.
Well, it's an excellent topic, and the reason being is people they do this all the time. They'll buy one Bright Bell or one Tangelo or one blood, and they'll breed it to anything that's not that, and they'll say, "Oh, look, I got Bright Bells and Tangelos and bloods," and no, you don't. You have a cross.
Right. Which is why I just bought another Tremper from Dawn so that I could truly breed extreme Trempers to extreme Trempers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, Heather, you should put your name in there so you could use the gift card later for a real blood.
Yeah.
I don't have a Tang other than my little Craigslist guy who's just a plain old hypo like everybody starts with.
Yeah, no, that's
tangerine other than, like I said,
hypo, the gateway drug.
Yeah, the tangerine's the gateway drug.
They are.
They are. Look, everybody starts with a hypo Tang carrot tail.
Yeah.
I did.
Yep.
I didn't, but those always caught my eye, and now I've been line breeding them for God, I don't know, 4 years or something now. This will be my 5th year, but I love them still. And I don't.
Paul, you do have a question. I hate to cut you off, Jeff, but I just thought of something that's been bothering me.
Okay.
One of my breeding females has recently started, her poop is like really pale colored. Could that be because she's chowing down on Vionate?
On the calcium?
Is it like greenish, or is it like a whitish kind of gray?
Very tan, just pale brown. And it's been that way for a couple of weeks now. But otherwise, she's perfectly healthy, still laying eggs, still active.
Are you using Vionate?
I do John's mix, the 50/50 on the osteo to calcium with D3, and then 4-to-1 of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would probably cut back a little bit, because sometimes a change in color has to do with liver issues. You know, if they're getting too much or something. Yeah, I would. I mean, it would be yeah, I'd just give her straight calcium for like a week. I'd take her off the mix, and she'll probably come right back.
I did recently. You know what? That just made me realize when this happened, I just switched from the Rapashi Cal Plus to the Vionate mix. I'm still dusting their fingers with the Rapashi, but I have the Vionate mix in their tanks.
Huh.
That'll do it. I probably, if you have the Vionate in the tank, I wouldn't even dust the worms with the Rapashi. You're overdosing them.
I worry about that, but I never see hardly any of mine eat it, and I never have to refill bowls. So that was my only fear, and with her laying eggs, and I also give my females a little 0.0 cc of liquid calcium after they lay the clutch, too, just to be on the safe side.
Oh, so you're really KOing the calcium.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they can assimilate it all, or if they might just be passing a lot of it instead of,
Well, here's the problem. Reptiles, this is everything. Calcium can't do its job without phosphorus.
Yeah.
And different reptiles require a different calcium to phosphorus ratio. So if you're given a lot of calcium, but there's not as much phosphorus to the levels that needs to be, the calcium can't do its job. So it sounds to me like you're putting way too much calcium, and you're getting an imbalance going on with the supplementation.
Even though my other two girls, they do the exact same thing, and everything is perfect with them.
Well, and they're all going to handle different levels, and animals are going to be able to not handle it at certain times. So they might have issues inside that you can't see with livers and things like that until it gets too bad. So I probably wouldn't do the liquid calcium at all. I mean, you'll be fine with the Vionate, the mix for John. I do the same thing. I've never had issues with them. Okay, so just leave the what's in their tank and quit dusting and just let her moderate herself. Exactly. That's the best thing, is let them take what they need. They know it better than us. And you'll see, like I noticed in my gals, after they lay a clutch, they eat a lot more of it. Yeah. Well, I only have one of my layers that I actually have seen eat it, and I've actually had to top off her bowl. And all my others, I just never see them, so I was worried about a calcium crash after laying so many eggs. And being my first year, paranoia. No, it's understandable, but yeah, I'd lay off those other two. It's a little bit overkill, and that can actually go the other way too, calcium toxicity. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. I'm glad I asked, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I kept thinking I haven't changed anything. Nothing's changed. But I did. I kind of forgot that, I changed that. And so that's about when her poo started changing colors. I've noticed it here and there when the like after the females lay, they'll go crazy on the calcium dish, and then I don't know, maybe a day or two, you'll notice that it looks like they're just dumping calcium, Yeah. And
it usually mellows out, but and then they're going through calcium right now. The osteovionate mix, they go through it. The laying females, the males, they'll go around and they'll eat it once in a while, but not like the laying females that I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only noticed one of my girls really going through it. And she's the one that's like a machine and lays every 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got one that's regular.
One that I really didn't want to breed, but I just wanted to see,
Yeah.
And she's been the most productive. I'm freezing her eggs now because I can't hatch them all.
You'll have too many. No, I get a lot of questions. I'm sure everybody else does too. Is how long in between clutches, and I've sat down and I document it, and sometimes it's 2 weeks or 20 days, and sometimes I think they're done, and all of a sudden they pop another clutch out.
Yeah. My white and yellow from you, she takes a long time between clutches. But my other two, they're pretty quick. They're pretty regular. But Sunny Girl, she takes her time.
Yeah. First year breeders.
Morgan, you're still sober over there.
I'm sober.
He's just falling asleep.
No, I'm not falling asleep.
Hey, Morgan, there's another caller that from the 907 that just messaged me.
907. Did you want to bring them on?
Sure.
Somebody else wants to talk to you. Get me off of here.
Sorry, Heather. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Take care, Heather.
Wait,
hi, Heather.
Heather, I can just mute you so you don't have to hang up if you want to keep listening.
Yeah, I want to keep listening.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Caller on the 907, Morgan.
Yeah, you're on the air, 907.
Hey there, this is Marcy.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Feeling much better than I was earlier. I had a raging migraine earlier, so it was a nice end to the night.
See, you heard our voices and it made it all better, huh?
Suddenly it all rung clear.
Certainly doesn't sound like angels, though, does it?
Oh, in the background. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I was really interested in listening to the Heather part of the conversation.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things that I have learned over the course of discussing supplements, and this I learned from one of the larger breeders who actually talked to one of the companies that makes the supplement, and the discussion about switching between supplements was rather interesting that they had, was that any time you make a change between supplements, you should do it gradually. And I had never thought about it that way, because I had made a change in my supplementation a while back, and I noticed a definite change in my eggs. And but one of the things that I found out, for the better, actually, it was for. I won't even go into that whole thing, but one of the things that I learned that I probably should have done was kind of done a mix of the old supplement and the new supplement, and then more of the old supplement, some of the new, and then slowly, gradually change them over.
Kind of wean them over to the new stuff, huh?
Completely. So it's not like a sudden shock to their system because they're used to a particular supplement. And a lot of times we don't think about that when we're changing supplements, but it is a pretty big change to their system.
Yeah.
So
probably taste and everything too. I'm sure. I mean, they don't they don't have a lot to do, so I'm sure eating and supplementing is probably like a big I don't know, it's excitement for them in the day. I would think.
Yeah, well, I think that as far as health-wise, that the titration of the supplements is probably the best way to go because of a sudden shift from one supplement, which may have more of one particular, vitamin compared to another. That would be a huge shock to a system or mineral or whatever,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right,
no, I had to say that before I forgot it because I'm a little ADD sometimes, and I've had a migraine, and I don't trust myself to remember anything after I've had a migraine. So.
No, it's a really good point because a lot of the labels just have minimum and maximum percents and regulated by any kind of agency that's very strict about what has to be in there. So it's a great point. One supplement could have be different from the next batch in the same supplement, but if you're totally switching brands, it could be way different percentages of stuff that could make a big difference.
Exactly. And one of the points that I look at, and I know a lot of breeders use Vionate. I don't particularly use it. I'm not opposed to it, but I look at the vitamin A levels in Vionate, and it's huge compared to other supplements.
It's for dogs and cats, yeah.
And so I look at that, and that's one of the reasons why I have always, tended to try and, I don't know, I guess maybe I'm still in the search for the perfect reptile supplement for Leos, I think a lot of people who really care about nutrition really do, care and about their nutrition and their levels, and it's hard to say what's right because there's not a lot of emphasis put in the market on having scientific studies on what the requirements are.
Yeah, it's a lot of guesswork.
Yeah, and basically it's like, whatever the company wants to put out, okay, hey, this sounds about right. But there really isn't a huge lot of studies that are done that show, what is exactly the requirements. And
I wonder if through all the years of breeding in captivity, the leopard geckos, how would you say, physiology has changed to accept different vitamins that have been offered. That kind of have they evolved to accept like a dog and cat vitamin, whereas if you took a wildcat caught and gave it to them, if they've evolved over time to assimilate what's in the supplements that we're giving them. I wonder.
Well, I think they definitely have.
Yeah,
they definitely have. I mean, I could tell you through necropsies, through various exotic clinics I worked at in the zoo, fatty liver disease is just all over in gecko species.
It's huge, huh?
To the point that it would kill mammals. I mean, a cat would be, or a dog would be in hospitalization critical, while these animals generally don't die from that. They die from something else, and that, we just see these big, nasty livers.
Yeah.
So, no, I agree with Marcy. Vionate and Osteoform, obviously not formulated for leopard geckos. Is it a good fit? I think it's a good fit, but it's not a great fit. There could be better.
Yeah, there should be studies.
It's one of those things where that I think as consumers that we need to be more vocal with the makers of certain formulas because a lot of them are marketed as like one for all, like this is great for geckos. Well, there's a lot of different types of geckos, and there's different. I'm sure that a Salsuma has a different type of requirement than a leopard gecko.
Yeah, diurnal compared to a nocturnal. I'm sure it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, and so I think that a lot of times as consumers we need to be a little more expressive and say, I want to know, what studies have been done. And, maybe if that's something that was, a more coordinated effort, among the leopard gecko community, maybe we could actually see some, work towards developing a product that works for them,
Yeah. No, that's a good point. How do we get something out there? They're not furry, fluffy animals, so have a heart. Don't give a heart.
Yeah, and
that's where a lot of these journals are going, though. A lot of journals are going to this supplementation, and that's up to the universities and different zoos and stuff that are doing these projects. That those are the people who are gonna work for us, so to speak. These big companies, they don't care. They're not going to take our right. It's pure profit and loss. And unfortunately, reptiles are, they're just not their profit, unfortunately. So that's where I think you're going to see big changes, is from studies from universities who have the money to do it. So that would be where to get more interactive and reading these journals and going from there and suggesting.
Yeah.
Well, there definitely needs to be a starting point, because I think that as someone who really does care about the nutritional aspect, it's worrisome to know that there is no regulation really over the supplements, and that we have some products that work relatively well, and they're not made specifically for leopard geckos. And there are some reptile ones that work, for some, and you talk to any, handful of breeders, and they all have their own favorites, and what works for them.
We just kind of go with what works for us, and not kind of blindly going into it.
But I think that
I see your point, definitely.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think it's something that I think our community can definitely work towards, not only just like the, leopard gecko community, but, the reptile community in general. People ask me why I don't add a lot of supplements, to my chow. I don't add extra calcium or anything, because that's something I think, or vitamins other than what's in the ingredients. Because for me, people feed all kinds of different reptiles. And I'm not going to make the determination of what, what extra supplementation I'm going to put in there, because I have no idea what they're feeding.
They're feeding beardies and, I can see your point on that,
Yeah.
So you see a lot of fatty liver disease, Pat, on a lot of the necropsies you do?
Haven't seen a leopard gecko that died without it.
Is that right? It's just
it's an overwhelming number.
And it's from power feeding, over supplementing, too much protein.
I mean, where are you going to see a 90-gram gecko in Pakistan?
It's
just
I know
their bodies aren't made for that.
I look at the pictures of the ones that are in the wild, and I mean, we are an obese nation.
Yes.
I see a lot, and then different sites that are trying to sell giants. I don't want to mention any names, but it's by weight alone, and it's like, God, they got to be power feeding these things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is past Pat's bedtime. I'm out of coffee and out of energy.
Oh man.
So, here, Pat, before you go, let me draw a name out of the whiskey barrel, big oak barrel.
Whiskey jar.
Is he going to ask Marcy a question?
Oh, Marcy, would you like a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, let me
see if my brain is semi-functional after migraine medication all day.
Oh, then I'll give you an easy one because brain's not working at the moment either. Trying to think of something we didn't already go over. All right. What was the market name, so the morph name of the original white and yellow bell?
Oh, I know this one.
What did they call them before they called them white and yellow bells?
I think I know this.
I'll give you a hint. We came out with the name first on a totally different morph.
I have no clue.
The Aurora.
Is that what is that right? I was thinking something else. I thought it was like the Calico or something like that.
The Calico was another one, but but Calico is white and yellow. A white and yellow bell they're calling Aurora.
That was like the first. Cool.
Well, I'm gonna get off here. I just wanted to say a real quick shout out to Heather and her beautiful babies. I'm so proud of everything she's done. She used to call her before me. She's done a fabulous job, and I'm just like, every time she puts up pictures of her babies, I'm just like clapping my hands, going, "All right, Heather, you're rocking it."
She is her first year.
I know. I'm so proud.
I didn't produce anything like that my first year. Just amazing stuff she's putting out.
I know. I'm just like, I literally sit in front of the computer and clap my hands. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that.
Go, girl.
Yeah, I know.
Sweet.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night. And I'm going to go have some. Yeah, I'm going to go have some pizza with my kids. So.
Okay.
All right. You have a good night. Thanks for calling in.
Have a good night.
Okay. Take care.
Bye, Marcy.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a name, and it's Brooke.
Brooke.
All right, Brooke.
The $50 gift certificate.
Yeah, so Brooke, go and get a hold of Pat.
Congratulations, Brooke.
And I know Pat's got to go to bed, so good night, Pat, and thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you, sir.
And we will have you on again.
Guys. Look forward to the next time.
Yes, all right.
All right, everybody have a good night. It was fun, and I'll catch everybody later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
No problem. Bye-bye.
No, that's cool. Pat knows a lot of stuff, huh?
Yeah. So you guys want to you want to grab some of these other? I got some mystery phone numbers that we've never answered before. If you guys want to just start answering.
Oh yeah, this will be fun.
All right.
I could ask questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Who cut your hair?
Oh, that's weird. It's not picking it up. I wonder why. Well,
probably because it's over the. I don't know. It was over the time.
Oh, it's probably a Skype thing.
Whatever Skype.
You answer it, and then they start getting charged. What, by the minute?
All right. I don't see it on my bill.
Yeah, right. So let's talk about Hatchling of the Year contest. So
I need to get one of the pictures up there, huh?
Yeah, I think that we have you saying that every week on these shows.
Every week, I hear it.
Every week and during the week in our little chat thing.
Yeah. So everybody needs to go to Late Night Leo's Facebook page and share a picture of your hatchling that has hatched since January 1st. Not anything from 2013 or your favorite one from 2011. It has to be from this year. And you put your name, if you've got a gecko business or whatever, you put that name. You put the pairing, what it was, like if it was a raptor to a raptor, you put raptor cross to raptor. And then put what the morph of the hatchling is and the hatch date. And, of course, put the picture of the hatchling so we can vote on it. And also, gecko oddity of the year. If you had a gecko that hatched with like extra arms, you know, like that guy from the old school Mortal Kombat with the 4 arms, then,
That'd
you know.
be cool.
Wow.
Wouldn't it, though? Yeah, so that also submit your oddity thing,
4 arms
and
or
you'll
3
win an
toes
actual award at the end of the year.
A big award.
How many have submitted anything, Morgan?
Just you, and Brad has submitted a pretty cool gecko, actually.
Oh, no, so I'm losing.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, his could shed and then just look like complete garbage, and yours could shed and look like a, you know.
It's a progression.
Stuff, man. It's magic.
It's a progression
stuff.
It's a progression thing too, from hatchling to mate.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna want updated pictures throughout the year, so you can't just be like, oh, this is super cool hatchling. You know?
Yeah, and then go pick out something really nice at the, you know, at the at the end.
No.
And here's what it looks like now.
Don't give them ideas. Yeah, go grab a picture off of like.
Has a blue background off of somebody else's site or something. No doing that, huh?
Yeah, none of that.
It messed up my whole game plan.
I know. Well, I didn't even think about that until you just said it now.
Yeah, so it has to be a progression. What, do you want once a month or?
Every few months. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
You're gonna have some. But the more you put up there, the more like you'll get votes on it.
Yeah, and if you like submit, you know, 5 really nice hatchling pictures, then you have more of a chance to win. You know, don't put 5 normals that look exactly the same.
Yeah. Don't overload me. I'm working on one right now. No, I know which one I'm going to put up there. I just haven't done it yet because I know how Macs change. They look really, I don't know, when they're real small and the patterns are all tight, they look really cool. The lines are defined. And then I think I just posted one today that, and now that they grow up, the patterns spread out and they get yellows in them, and it's like,
Yeah.
But they're still cool. I mean, I've got this one, but he was last year, so I can't use him. Whoa, I paid attention to the rules.
Yeah, and don't cheat either, because cheating's not fun. You know?
No,
cheaters never prosper.
I wouldn't do that anyway. It's only lying to yourself anyway. So if you see in May the one with the blue background,
yeah, right.
He's seen it on somebody else's site
Morgan,
for $500.
You have a blue background, and so does Steve Sykes. Does that mean that you're trading pictures and stuff too? What's going on there?
Well, I switched to a blue background. Yeah. No, I was told that my geckos were fake and photoshopped, and I don't know how to do any of that, so I just switched to a blue background.
They're still fake.
I used to use a black background, and yeah. So
mine are all paper towel backgrounds.
Yeah, I should just go back to graph paper like I used to do, and then people could just say I'm unprofessional. You know, you're either unprofessional or you Photoshop your gecko.
Or you're fake.
Yeah, or you're fake. Yeah, you know, you spend a bunch of money on a light tent, and then they just say you're fake.
And I don't know how to do any of that stuff, so
yeah.
You can tell on mine. It's just a container with some. I wet some paper towel so it doesn't slide around, and put them in there and take them out front. Wait till the sun's just right and take pictures.
Yeah. You know, I do have a submission for Oddity of the Year, even though I wouldn't win unless I really like my own animals. But it's a hatchling that's actually missing part of its skull. It's still alive. It just doesn't have. Yeah, it's like missing the back left part of the eye socket and then that whole piece of the skull. So, like, there's no bone. It's just brain matter and an eyeball.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Yeah, it's not cool enough though. Like, I mean, if it had like a nose growing out of the side of its head, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. But yeah.
Did you submit it?
No, not yet. I'm going to. I got to take a better picture. Yeah. But what else do you guys have to talk about? We're at 4,837 downloads so far this year. Which,
is that good?
You know. Well, it's a little over 1,000 a month. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's pretty good, I guess.
I don't know how any of those work, but no, that's good. It's it's growing.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
We have a lot of the West Coast people listening now, huh?
Yeah, it seems like it. We got I don't know who Crystal was, but she's from 805. That's down south.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Simi Valley area, Ventura County, I think.
I know I've seen that name around.
Ventura County.
Oh, hi.
Was it on your orange jumpsuit?
No, I graduated Chino State.
Oh, geez.
Graduated Folsom State.
Does it say something like that on the prison high school diplomas?
What, from the prison? I don't know. I never made it to the big house.
You don't associate with those types of people?
You didn't get your high school diploma when you were in prison?
I've never been to prison. Not that I didn't get threatened with it.
I didn't do it.
I may have came close. I cannot confirm or deny. I drove by once.
Yeah.
I visited.
Yeah, well, when I come down there, we'll have to go get my picture taken with some inmates for like tourist stuff.
I did 10 years and all I got was this T-shirt.
Yeah, right.
With a picture of Bubba on it.
Oh, jeez.
No. So yeah.
Yep.
I proved my white and yellow het blizzard guy to he's het blizzard, hatched a blizzard from him today.
So how do you know if that's white and yellow blizzard?
The one that hatched?
Yeah.
If it's both white and yellow and blizzard, I don't. That's the cool thing about it.
It's not cool.
I won't know until I breed it.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. It just looks like a blizzard. It's real dark, has a dark head. I'll get pictures of it sooner or later. Got to let the paint dry.
Yeah, I'd imagine that if it had a bunch of paradox spots when it's older, it would be more likely to be a white and yellow.
But that's a blizzard thing too, though. Is the paradox. So,
oh man, that's
yeah, no, it's am I driving down a dead end, and I don't know. That's kind of why I want to breed them to the sunrise, because they have color in them, and if you see the high white size and then the sunrise, tangerine looking in it, I don't know. I might just I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going with it yet, but I have a Affy het blizzard that I bred them to, and I have eggs in the cooker from that, so I want to see if the Affy picked up the blizzard. If it's het blizzard. I haven't checked on this one yet. I got a friend he bred I don't know how many animals to get the blizzard to come out on the Affy, and bred it back to blizzard. But he went through a lot before he got an actual blizzard from it. And
yeah,
I went through quite a few just to get a white and yellow, from white and yellow to blizzard. I don't know, that blizzard gene just, I don't know, it's something about it that I just, you know, people go, oh, you can pick up a blizzard for $50 or blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
Yeah, that's
something just keeps drawing me back to it for some reason.
Yeah. But you guys want to, huh?
The paradoxing too in the blizzard and the white and yellow is kind of what, I don't know, I keep going down that road.
Yeah, I really like that whole idea.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's an ongoing project.
Yeah. Well, you'll have plenty of hatchlings to sell at the Reading show in July.
Oh yeah, I already
July
have.
19th.
July 19th.
Is it July 19th?
I believe so.
Yeah, it is.
Just looked it up today.
Saturday, July 19th.
So if you guys are close to Reading, California, come and say hello to us.
Yeah,
I think it opens at 10 and closes at 5, I think.
Yeah, and admission's really low. I think it's, I don't even want to say because I'm not sure, but I know it's not like $12 or whatever.
$1.50. It's $1.50.
And Morgan agrees to pay the difference, so come on down.
No. It's $10.
Bring. No, I think it's.
And Morgan collects the difference.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's $7 for adults or something, and children are guys $4. I know it's real minimal compared to a lot of the shows.
Define children, man. I'm a child at heart.
Yeah.
Well, you're vending, so it's not like.
Yeah, and
what do you got to do with the price of tea in China?
Do they even sell tea in China?
No. What kind of a statement is that?
Man, that still doesn't mean I'm not in the kitty candy store. Come on.
Yeah. No, I know. Oh, it'd be hard to stay behind a table when you're looking at everybody else.
Yeah, right. I'm like, God, you got this? I gotta go look around.
Yeah, right.
That's why I'm glad there's going to be all three of us there, so we can. You know,
right.
I can take cigarette breaks.
Yeah, I can go down to the bar down the street.
Yeah. You get a flask with your logo on it.
Oh jeez. No, I won't be flasking it up at a family event. But,
no, he'll just have it in his mug.
Yeah. Every half hour we hear the straw hit in the bottom of the glass. I'll be right back, guys. No, so yeah, and then the GECKO show, if we do that one, I got to get a hold of him. If you guys want to do that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. See, and it's a first year show at the Reading show, so you never know how they're going to go. I guess GECKO show last year did really good.
That's what Josh was saying. Josh was saying GECKO last year was just crazy good for him.
Yeah, and he's gonna get a bigger building this year, from what I understand. So yeah, more vendors, more people. It should be a good one too. I just go because it sounds like it's fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to be fun.
Yeah.
Definitely. Josh is going to be there?
He doesn't know yet, I don't think, does he?
No, not yet, yeah.
He's setting up the shop up there.
God, it would be fun to just go there and harass people.
That's why the Sacramento show's there.
Yeah.
No,
you got just about everybody there.
Yeah. That's one that I just like to go and look and talk to people and stuff. Then it's a 2-day show. I don't know.
Well, and we could, if we got somebody else to run the switchboard on a computer, then we could do a Late Night Leo's at the show.
Oh, that would be cool, huh?
That would
we could
during the day or something.
Yeah, and
Can't
we
you
could
do that on
you
them
can,
smartphones or whatever.
Yeah, we'll just do it on the smartphone. See what happens.
I wonder if they got Wi-Fi set up where they're at.
Oh, I'm sure.
If it's in a hotel, probably.
Yeah, we should look into that.
Oh. Do any of you guys have an iPad or something like that we could run the switchboard off of?
No, I broke my iPad, so now it's an iHad.
I'll have to pick one up this sometime.
Yeah, no, I got a laptop. I don't know if
the only problem with the laptop is, like, if you were trying to walk around the show with a laptop, trying to type in and go to chat and stuff.
Yeah. I'd drop it because I'd be looking at stuff.
Whoa. You have to get one of those.
Angramanu.
Get one of those things that, like, the water company or the electric company has. It's like a reverse baby harness for a laptop on their chest.
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
you look
about.
like Iron Man.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, but we'll have to do that.
The Lodi show, I think, is next month.
It's in May, isn't it? I thought about going to that one.
Come on.
I know.
When in May?
Come on, I'm right here. Come on.
May.
And I think that's a 2-day show.
How far is it from you to Lodi? From Sacramento
about a half hour.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you're the other side of Sacramento, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on the south side. I'm in Elk Grove.
Yeah, you're in Elk Grove, so that's probably, 3-4 hours from here. That's like 12 hours from Morgan.
Probably 24 for Morgan. I don't know.
No, he could take the other route too. You don't have to go over the 299. That other route that goes through what is that? Willows,
36.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's the 36. That's the one that goes to Red Bluff, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that one though. That one's been really bad lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably just head over to Redding and then take I-5 all the way down.
Yeah, I would say 5 is the fastest way down.
Yeah, the 5 moves
or
good.
101,
Because 5 for me to Redding is only about, it'll take me about 2 hours.
Yeah. But see my problem is, like, from me to Redding is like 3 hours or more.
Just over the 299?
Yeah, just getting over 299.
See, I'm up here where I'm closer to the 99.
Yeah, you're on 70, aren't you, Jeff? Right up there at 70?
Yeah, the 70 Pinch Road up here, basically. But, yeah, and I can get to the 99 real quick. It's, 40 minutes from where I'm at. And
yeah. We'll have to
or I
talk
can
about
go
that
the other
more.
way and get 70, yeah.
Yeah, because Lodi would be a cool show. Morgan, the other thing is, what if you met up with Jeff on the way down, and then you guys carpooled, so it'd save time and money and gas and stuff like that, and you guys could carpool down to here, and then we could all three carpool from here down to Lodi.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, if Jeff wants to ride in a race car.
I like race cars.
Is it a race Jeep? Is it a race car Jeep?
I got a Nova.
Ooh, what year?
It's a 69. It's all muscled out.
Hell yeah.
No, we need pictures.
Yeah.
Dump some fuel
There's actually
in that,
a picture on my Facebook. If you look at my profile pictures, you'll see a picture of it with a 6-inch hood, and it's flat black, and yeah.
Is it raked?
What do you mean? Is that
raked? Is the back end much higher than the front, or is it all nice and level?
It is a lot higher in the back, and I was gonna do a high boy kit to make the front all the way up, but I just went with air shock.
Completely nostalgic.
Yeah, I do have a separate posi rear end with multi-leafs that I want to put on it, but I don't know. I was kind of.
Want to do coilovers in the back?
Not really.
Man, I love the old classics, man.
Yeah. If I had another car, I would totally do coilovers, 9-inch Ford in the back, and...
There you go.
19-inch wide tires and.
Oh, geez.
Have it.
It'd be a pro touring car.
Roll cage. But I do want to talk about Gary's new website before we get cut off.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, if
Late
anybody doesn't know.
Go ahead.
Late night car shows. Gary is starting a new website that is going to be like the combination of the Reptile Calculator, a radio show, which hopefully Late Night Leos is going to be able to be part of the radio show part, and it's going to be like Gecko forums and fauna and king snake and maybe a little bit of iHerp, which is similar to Facebook, all condensed into one giant website that's just going to have everything. So, and like reporter, it'll be like Gecko Time as well, and Reptile Report, and just everything all condensed with reporters and news, and it'll be like a massive newspaper.
That's a huge
basically.
undertaking.
Multi-affiliated corporation.
Yeah,
Really?
it's going to be
that sounds
tons
cool.
of people.
One-stop shop.
It sounds
Hopefully
like
it'll be like the first collective work between Gecko people, because I mean history has shown
we're actually
that,
working together.
The community is. That's the thing about the Gecko community. It's really I come from the muscle cars where it's like, oh, you got a Camaro and oh, you've got a Mustang. I hate Fords, but you're awesome anyways. Because you got a 9-second car. But here it's like, you got a smoking white and yellow. I hate you.
It's Photoshop.
Yeah, right. Your car is Photoshopped. It's not 9 seconds. So hopefully we'll be able to bring some people.
Yeah, to pull people together that will work together, and then whoever doesn't will just they can just fight on the outskirts of town or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have to come and
do that.
Yeah. Which is.
So I wanted to put that blip out there so people know.
Blips are cool.
Yeah.
Do you know the website? Do you know the website's name or anything like that yet?
It doesn't have one yet, as far as I know.
It'll
probably be something like Gary's Empire or something. King Gary.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's that way at all. He's more.
He's the opposite. He's Gary's
unity
totally
in the community. Yeah. No, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on too, so.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah, right.
I'm starting to be. It's hard to divide my time between what I need to do and what I love to do.
Yeah.
You gotta get some kind of balance going.
That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
A fine line if you can walk it.
Yeah, it's a good thing I work for myself, or I would have fired me.
I'm surprised Morgan hasn't fired you yet.
I know, huh? God, the only one that hasn't.
Yeah, well,
I guess that kind of. I don't know. It starts warming up, and I'm off to work a lot earlier. Lately, I've been getting the job at 8. I usually start at 6:30 when it gets hot out.
Oh, jeez. It's never that hot here.
No, Eureka's nice.
Yeah, if you like cold, wet, and humid, and
no, it's when it's 105 here, I'd rather be over there where it's 80 with a cool ocean breeze.
Yeah, well. It was hot today. It was blue skies, sunshine, and like 64 degrees. I was just.
Yeah.
It was too hot. I had to come inside.
No, it was warm here today. I went out and sprayed a bunch of weeds, did a bunch of weed control, and it's not really real physical work, but I was feeling the heat.
Yeah. Yeah, the heat sucks.
It's not even hot. It's still really cool.
Yeah, no, this is nice. I like this weather. I take this any day over the cold.
Does that mean we need to move to San Diego? It's nice and mellow down there all the time. It's mid-70s.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
What about, like, well, Comic-Con is going to be, 120 degrees outside.
Comic-Con?
Yeah. Where is that? Is that here? Because there was just like a convention here with THOR was here and Stan Lee, and that was just, last month?
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's on the Comic-Con website, but it's something else. I forget what it's called. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I'm doing
the. I've been to one of those.
Yeah, it's really cool. You should go. There's like chicks dressed up in costumes and stuff.
No,
yeah,
you're
like
talking
one of my friends. She went with her son, and they dressed up. What is that called when they dress up like that? What is that?
Cosplay.
Cosplay.
Yeah. No, my daughter told me what cosplay was.
Oh, geez.
What? So you dress up like Bill Cosby? What?
It's pink stuff.
It's like the old. You remember the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh God!
Yeah.
No, not like that. Not like disgusting.
No, because I used to, when that came out, it was the big thing to go at midnight to this place, and everybody. This is down in L.A. Orange County, and you'd go there, and everybody would dress up and throw toast and do all kinds of weird stuff. But that's kind of where
dress up in drag.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
This was when I grew up. It was when I went to high school in the 70s. And that whole gender bender thing, David Bowie was dressing up as Ziggy Stardust, and I mean, a bunch of people were doing all that. I was just me. I was just watching everything. Go, wow.
I can see that. Look, I can see Morgan in his cosplay costume doing a drag race in his '69 Nova.
How did you know I had a costume?
Oh, just wild guess.
No.
Oh, what is your costume?
I don't have a costume. Just my birthday suit. I go all natural.
Birthday
Speedos and a Superman T-shirt. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well.
No.
Anyway.
that was a scandal.
Yeah,
that was a scandal part of the show.
Brooke's there, and she's probably like, "What are they talking about?"
She probably left the phone on the table and walked away.
No,
I know.
I used to like going to like all the weird parties up in Hollywood Hills where everybody was like dressing up. They're trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do, get noticed or whatever. But I would just sit back and watch. It's like Halloween every day.
Yeah, Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, up there and in the Hollywood Hills, there'd be, you find out where some party is. Just, it was nuts back then.
Yeah.
That's the cosplay and all that kind of, it's like a modern day take on that guy. I don't know. Jeff's having a flashback.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no. It's cool stuff.
It's going to cut us off any second now.
Yep, they were cutting off right now.
You think so?
Yeah. Thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening to us babble on.
Thanks to the callers for calling in.
Yeah.
Thank you, callers, and congratulations to Brooke, who won $50 from Luxurious Leopards.
Hey, Brooke.
Yay.
Yeah. Now she got to decide I want GECKO to buy me.
Oh, jeez.
I think I got to make room.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Who's on next week?